finished super strong down the stretch, winning 6 of their final 7 games. A tough loss to Clemson. The only mark there after starting the season 3-2. 5th consecutive BCS New Year's 6 bowl game for Florida State. Making a habit out of this, the best kind of habit. Jim Harbaugh and Michigan ready to break free. This will have the feel of a true road game. He wants to go. Coach Harbaugh doesn't want to wait. Here come the Wolverines. This has been the Nissan pregame rush. As we in the country digest that Jabril Peppers news, and I have to think that Dalvin Cook's life just got a whole lot easier tonight. Cook, by the way, was asked about playing in this game. He said it never crossed his mind not to play. He's the best running back in Florida State's history, and Todd McShay grew up 5 minutes from here.
And he has more than 30 people here, friends and family, and he's just electrifying. I'm excited to watch him tonight, and Michigan obviously now has a bigger problem on his hands. You're talking about an All-American, unanimous All-American, and a guy who has led the ACC in rushing each of the last 2 years. In addition to that, he can catch the football, so there's a lot of different ways that they're going to try to get the ball in Dalvin Cook's hands. I mentioned electrifying. It's because of the lateral agility and the ability to explode off of his plant foot. If there's a small crease, this guy's going to hit it. He's going to hit it faster than any back in the country. And then he has the ability with the top-end speed to turn the corner. A lot of inside runs. He bounces to the outside and gets big gains. And then here's the passing game. Matchups. Watch the matchups tonight. Who is Michigan going to try to use to cover this guy? I think they're going to put him in the slot. They're going to use him out of the backfield. The screen game. A lot of different ways to get the ball in Dalvin Cook's hands. And I think that with the news on Peppers, they'll even look to increase the load from Dalvin Cook.
Today's coin toss is presented
by
Miami
once again,
Orthopedics and
Public
Sports
Address
Medicine
announcer John
Institute.
Magrino for
Joining us
delivery
on
of
the
the game
field
ball
is Steve Braskamp, Senior Vice President, Capital One Auto Finance, Michael Chavis, President and Chair, Orange Bowl Committee, and Nelson Lazo, Chief Executive Officer, Doctors Hospital and Orange Bowl Committee member. Honorary captains are Marvin Jones, representing Florida State, and Anthony Carter, representing Michigan.
Gentlemen, congratulations on being selected to play in the 2016 Orange Bowl. This is Russ Pulley, your umpire. My name's Matt Austin. I'm your referee. Joining us today for the coin toss is Mr. Michael Chavis, Orange Bowl Committee President and Chair. Michigan, you're the visiting team. You're going to call the toss. The Capital One logo will be heads. The bowl of oranges will be tails. What's your choice? Heads is the call. Mr. Chavis, please flip the coin. And it is heads. You've won the toss. You want to defer to the second half. You guys want the football? Which way you want to kick? Which way you want to kick? This way. Okay, Michigan over here, Florida State over there. Michigan has won the toss, deferred their choice to the second half. Florida State will receive.
And so we'll get an early look at Dalvin Cook against that now Jabril Pepperless defense for Michigan. The fascinating thing to me about this Greece would be, when did Michigan really know?
Right.
Did they know something earlier in the week and were prepared for the fact he might not play? Or did it really happen in practice or in pregame, which really then could throw the game plan out the window?
Well, I can tell you, I was at practice on Tuesday, and he was running full speed, no problem. So sometime between Tuesday and now this happened. But, you know, I think the rallying cry in that locker room for Michigan defensively will be, we are strong together. It's not a one-man defense. Jabril Peppers, an unbelievable player, but this defense had historical success not because of Jabril Peppers alone. It was a team effort. They swarmed to the football, and it started up front with Taco Charlton, Chris Wormley, 4 seniors playing along that front. Ryan Glasgow, 2 more seniors at the linebacker position with Gideon, and then led by a secondary that might be the best in all of college football, Jordan Lewis. This was not a one-man show. Certainly they will miss Jabril Peppers, especially against the speed of Dalvin Cook, but they will be ready.
Some people have said, should Peppers deserve the Heisman Trophy? The argument against was, he's not even the best player on his own defense. And that's how good that Michigan defense is. Kermit Whitfield is back. Kenny Allen to kick it away. And the New Year's Six Bowls are underway. Here's Keith Gavin, the true freshman. And we'll get our first look at that offense for Florida State. DeAndre Francois, don't forget, he's a freshman, the ACC Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, and I think he needs to continue to withstand the pressure. He's been hit more than any quarterback in college football. He's got a little bit of a shaky offensive line on the right side. He's got to do it one more time. He's got to be able to make tight man-to-man throws. We know Michigan is going to play predominantly man-to-man. He's got to make those throws, and then he's got to find Dalvin Cook, not just in the running game, Steve, but 5 to 7 times throwing the football.
So I wondered when Michigan knew Peppers wouldn't play. When did Florida State find out Peppers wasn't going to play? From the 25, Francois comes out throwing and connecting with Kermit Whitfield down the sideline for the big gain, and that's open the game. Delano Hill forced him out after the gain of 23.
Get a good start for Francois. He's still a redshirt freshman quarterback. Jimbo Fisher wants to get him out, get him on rhythm. And right off the bat, we see it's not Noah Furbush that's replacing Jabril Peppers. It is true freshman Josh Metellus, very talented player, but just a true freshman.
Second offensive snap. Francois throwing it away over Dalvin Cook's head. Let's take a look at tonight's impact players, brought to you by Chick-fil-A.
Well, we think there's going to be a great matchup to watch on the left side of this offensive line. Roderick Johnson going against Taco Charlton, 2 first-round draft picks. That'll be a great matchup. Then the other matchup is that man-to-man we talked about. Jordan Lewis, one of the best pure cover corners in college football, against the playmaker for Florida State in the passing game, Travis Rudolph.
Rudolph said it was a dream to see man-to-man coverage, but in that dream, he's not open to see Jordan Lewis or Channing Stribling. Here's Dalvin Cook, first carry of the night. And he's inside the 40-yard line of Michigan before Hill brought him down after the gain of 13.
Now, we talk so much about Dalvin Cook and the speed to the outside, and it gets lost that he's 215 pounds, Todd, and he can run between the tackles.
He does. He actually...
Full back in there is Freddie Stevenson in front of Cook. There's Cook on the left side. First down and plenty more. Inside the 20. Devontae Thomas made the tackle.
This play sprung by the right tackle, Rick Leonard, who comes across in the formation. He's right here, and he's going to get the block on Taco Charlton. This is the favorite play, the counter play. And Dalvin Cook, you give him that edge. And I'm surprised he didn't put it in the end zone.
I would say this has been an impressive opening drive, but that's an understatement. Wow, here come the Seminoles. Here's Cook. And that'll go for a loss. Push back to the 17. Maurice Hurst making the tackle for Michigan.
Well, we talk about losing the playmaking ability of Jabril Peppers, but I think what you're seeing right off the bat is they miss his leadership. He's one of their emotional leaders on this defense, and those guys, Taco Charlton, Chris Wormley, Gideon, they have to assume that role. They have to get the temperature of this Michigan defense up.
Second down and 12 now from the 14. Francois to throw, looking end zone, and the flag. Ryan Izzo, the tight end, was held up.
Izzo tried to double move, and Ben Gideon, the Mike linebacker, just held him. It was an easy call for the back judge.
Matt Austin, our referee from the SEC.
Pass interference, defense number 42. Ball in the close to the 2-yard line.
That's a great route from Izzo. It's a little sell to the outside. And Gideon was beat, and Harbaugh knew it.
Good call, too, huh?
Yeah,
About as blatant as you get. Ball spotted at the 2. Bringing an extra offensive lineman now. And handed off to Cook. And he's in. Touchdown. Seminoles on the board first. Ricky Aguayo on. Florida State has made 299 consecutive points after touchdowns. Make it 300 consecutive extra points for the Seminoles. And Florida State, they strike first. Warrick Dunn for the most in school history. He already has the most rushing touchdowns in Florida State history. Looking for the overall mark. 7-0 Seminoles. Logan Tyler will kick it away. And it will bounce out the back of the end zone. Seems like an eternity ago that Wilton Speight threw his first pass of the season and was intercepted. He's bounced back nicely, told us the shoulder's good to go.
Well, it's been a while since he played that Ohio State game, but certainly it's still on his mind. He needs to put it behind him, move forward. Don't lose the aggressive approach that he had towards the end of the season, but do respect. This is the best pass rushing team on third down in college football. They lead with 47 sacks.
Wilton Speight has not won a football game in some 2 months. Looks to figure that out here tonight. Khalid Hill is the fullback. Davion Smith is the tailback. And the jet sweep to J.U. Chesson. Tries to turn the corner. Maybe gets a yard before Jacob Pugh got to him.
Take a look at our Chick-fil-A impact players. Jake Butt needs to have a big game tonight. It's Florida State without 3 of their starting safeties. He'll be a matchup nightmare. Amara Darboh has led the team in receiving and has played at an All-American level. But DeMarcus Walker figures large in getting pressure on Wilton Speight, playing his last game for the Seminoles.
Chris Evans is out in the slot as Speight to throw. Speight to run, he's in trouble. Able to get it down to Jake Butt. And Butt has first down yardage. Matthew Thomas made the stop. See the mobility of Wilton Speight.
Yeah, he just has enough ability to get outside the pocket and extend plays. And you know, we mentioned those 3 safeties out. Derwin James went out early in the season. He was probably their best player on the back end. But then they also lost Nate Andrews, outstanding player. He tore a pec against Miami. And just recently in practice, Erman Lane broke his foot. So both teams have lost secondary players on defense.
Hand off to Smith. Nothing doing. Pushed back for a loss by Derek Nottie. That Nate Andrews injury, the pectoral injury, actually took place right here in this stadium in that game against Miami, the 1-point victory.
So guys, if you're in Florida State, you've got to be pleased with how the defensive line's playing early on. Marcus Walker on that completion from Speight got pressure on him and quickly, and then that last play, stout versus the run.
2nd and 10. Here's Speight to throw. Knocked up in the air and nearly intercepted. Tavares McFadden, if he would have picked it off, would not have been a surprise. 8 interceptions this season, tied for most of the FBS with Rasul Douglas of West Virginia.
Yeah, great job by McFadden. He's 6'2", 200 pounds, ideal size for a corner. DeMarcus Christmas almost gets there, but all of these balls that McFadden, a lot of them this season have been because of the pressure that guys like DeMarcus Walker, Josh Sweat, Brian Burns get on the quarterback. And if they can do the same to Wilton Speight, there will be opportunities for McFadden.
Yeah, the top sacking team in the nation is Florida State. So here they come on 3rd and 10. Speight able to get it away, but could not hook up with Jake Butt.
And a frenetic start for Michigan. And you get the sense that they need to settle down. They need to find some leadership, both sides of the football. Their defense got run through first series, and now Wilton Speight, that ball came out way before it needed to, already feeling the effects of this stout pass rush.
Kenny Allen is the kicker and the punter for Michigan. He stands at his 20. Nyquan Murray at his own 25. Allen will put it in the air. What a punt. Murray has to go all the way back and then muffs it. Loose football down at the 1. And rolling into the end zone. It's going to be stopped down at the 1. It is Michigan's football. DeMonte Thomas on it. He'll be marked down at the 1. Nyquan Murray muffs the 61-yard punt.
What a kick from Kenny Allen. First and foremost, no way Nooney Murray should even try to field that ball. You tell him to stand on the 10-yard line and let the ball go over your head. I think the problem was Murray lined up on the 20, and it was such a good punt that he didn't know where he was on the field, just tried to field it, and great hustle by DeMonte Thomas Sparks, Michigan.
What a break for Michigan. Watch for Khalid Hill here. He has 8 one-yard touchdowns this season. Speight hands it off to Davion Smith, and his world was rocked. He was just blasted by Matthew Thomas.
Right up the middle. There's Thomas, and a miscommunication up front on the offensive line, and that's reminiscent of Jadeveon Clowney in the Outback Bowl from several years ago.
That's how you get some people hurt. After what just happened to Florida State to come up with that defensive play on the first snap after the quick change. 2nd and goal. Speight to throw. Pressure. Open man and just overthrew J.U. Chesson, who looked like he was running forever.
Great design, and the play comes wide open late, but Wilton Speight again feeling pressure, had to throw it before he wanted to, Todd.
And they moved the pocket on purpose to his right, and then the throwback. It was a great play design. Chesson's open. Almost seemed like a rusty Wilton Speight there on that throw. Just entirely too much air under that ball.
He's hesitant. He's being real hesitant and careful right now not to make a mistake, and can't be as effective as you want to be a quarterback playing that way.
3rd and goal from a 4.5. Speight with pressure, throws underneath, it's complete, it's Chesson, but he's shy of the end zone. Matthew Thomas dropped him down at the 2. What do you want to do here, Coach?
I think he's got to kick a field goal. They got to get some points on the board after getting the ball on the 1-yard line. But what a stand by Florida State defensively. Matthew Thomas makes the big play on first down, and this defense, talk about growth over the course of a year. You have that defense that is playing its best football.
There's Kenny Allen for a chippy. This will be a 19-yard field goal attempt. And he'll never have an easier 3 points. Michigan on the board. But Florida's my 2 partners. James Conner got the Capital One Orange Bowl Courage Award. Barry Alvarez headlined the Orange Bowl Hall of Fame class. And Hank Goldberg, our old pal, the Hammer, was also honored with the Edwin Pope Media Award. And for those wondering, Hank would not make a pick on this game tonight.
Let's go back and take a look at this first drive. Florida State, this offense starting to get in rhythm quick. Freddie Stevenson with a great block in the middle. You give Dalvin Cook this kind of space, he's going to make you pay. Their favorite counter play, pulling Rick Leonard around. Taco Charlton loses contain. And then watch All-American Roderick Johnson, Outland Trophy winner, come off the football on the goal line. That is textbook how you come out and start a game, establish a line of scrimmage and an attitude up front. and Dalvin Cook's off to a great start.
Probably the biggest surprise early in this game is how they've gotten movement against this Michigan defensive line that doesn't get moved a whole lot.
Cook's out there. He's split up. He's top of your screen now. He has 2 100-yard receiving games this season, Dalvin Cook. And he's their second leading receiver. And they're looking his way. And there he is, Dalvin Cook. That ball hung up forever. And Cook still able to beat Mike McCray for the big catch.
Well, you give Jimbo Fisher credit. He saw Jabril Peppers is out. So after the first drive, he isolates his fastest player, Dalvin Cook, and see who goes out there. And Mike McCray's 250 pounds. There's no way he's going to run with Dalvin Cook. Great job.
I'm surprised he stayed with him as much as he did.
45 yards on the game. Cook has 85 yards of offense already. And Francois will be crashed down to the 30-yard line.
Well, he's in a bind, right? Because who are you going to send out there? Now, you got Josh Metellus, who is in for Jabril Peppers. He's a true freshman. You want to put him out there on the Dalvin Cook? Don Brown has to make, the defensive coordinator has to make adjustments. He plays man-to-man coverage. That's what he loves to do. But now you got to make some adjustments, and you got to protect a guy like Metellus. Maybe play a little bit more zone.
There is Don Brown, who is looking forward to our best against their best, except his best is not in the game tonight. In case you're just joining us, no Jabril Peppers for Michigan. Here's the pressure. Francois didn't see it, but he felt Taco Charlton. And Francois is down.
Taco Charlton goes 275 pounds, and DeAndre Francois has taken some big hits this season. But you see, here he comes right off the edge, unblocked. A pressure from Don Brown, whether it's Leonard or whether it's Dalvin Cook. DeAndre Francois expected him to be picked up, and he wasn't.
That had to be a breakdown in protection, as you just alluded to, because he wasn't thinking anyone was coming. Charlton's had 9 sacks in the last 10 games. He's by far Michigan's best pass rusher, so there's no way Florida State would purposely allow him to come as a free player.
Well, and we know DeAndre Francois, one of the tougher players in all of college football. Some of the hits that he has taken in the Clemson game, in the Miami game, hurt his shoulder. I mean, he has gotten up and answered the bell every single time. And these are monster shots, and none of these are sacks. He's throwing the ball away here. He was sacked an additional 32 times on top of all these hits. I mean, one man can't take this much punishment, but he's a tough ball player.
Francois started every game this season, but he will watch for at least one play now. That is Sean McGuire, the 5th-year senior from Sparta, New Jersey.
And he started 5 games last year, Steve, and comeback win against NC State. Went back and forth with Everett Golson and played admirably. 392 yards in a Peach Bowl. They lost that game, but he's got a lot of experience.
Steps into a tough spot on 3rd and 10. They'll play it safe. Hand off to Dalvin Cook. He nearly got everything he needed. He'll be shy. Delano Hill made the tackle.
Shame on you for saying that something's safe when you give it to Dalvin Cook. Anything can happen.
The good news for DeAndre, he was trying to check himself back into the game. Didn't realize it was 4th down, and they were taking the offense off the field.
Maybe that's a problem, too.
Yep, maybe.
Going to try a field goal here. Here's Ricky Aguayo from 42 yards away. Aguayo, just not a problem. Florida State, defense, offense, everything working. Francois takes the big hit. We'll wait for the next time Seminoles have the football and see his status. Michigan offense when we come back.
It seems.
And Jimbo Fisher, the head coach at Florida State, he told us in the next 2-3 years, the Seminoles could be as good as they have been in his run here.
I found
it pretty good right now.
Yeah, this year with him has been fascinating to me. You know, the big loss to Louisville, close losses to North Carolina and Clemson, and he's been pushing the right buttons with his young team. Gotten to a point now where they're playing good football.
Florida State season, they got off to a rocky start. Started 3-2. Hard to win a national championship when you start 3-2 in the first 5.
Yeah, and certainly a lot of people had high expectations for them. Ranked 4th coming in, the big win against Louisville or Ole Miss coming back, and there you see the 3 losses. But won 4 straight to end the season, and Jimbo told us yesterday, he said, I am more proud of this team than any I've coached as a head coach. And I think that says a lot. He's had some great teams, national championship teams, but this team has never stopped listening, never stopped fighting, and has dealt with that adversity.
What a start to the Capital One Orange Bowl. We've had everything from pregame to in-game, and we're just halfway through quarter number 1. Davion Smith, the carry. That's Fred Jones who made the tackle.
The story so far for me, Steve, early in this game is the line of scrimmage. We thought that Michigan would come in both offense and defense and establish a line of scrimmage. It has been exactly the opposite. The offensive line from Florida State is coming off, getting Dalvin Cook space, and this defensive front for Florida State, as Todd mentioned, they are ready to play.
2nd and 3. Spade airs it out, shot down the field, and it is caught. Amara Darboh. Gonna say he was out of bounds.
Boy, Amara Darboh has got to be an impact player in this game. Does his back come down inbounds? That's the question. Clearly, he catches that football, and I think that's a good call. He comes down just out of bounds.
Bill LeMonnier is with us here, our rules expert. Any thoughts there, Bill?
I think it's a great call. Just as it was said, he came down, bodies landed on the line, incomplete pass.
You have no idea how happy we are to have Bill with us here in the booth tonight. 3rd and 7. Spade's going to try that side again. Looking for Butt. There was a collision. Butt turning around, looking for a penalty marker. And there is not one coming. 4th down.
And it's Derek Nottie. Here he is right here. Normally he is a run stuffer, but it's just a little game with DeMarcus Walker. And Steve, you play quarterback here. With this guy coming right up your grill, try to make a throw. There's nowhere for Wilton Speight to step into that. That's just a hope throw downfield. No chance of a completion.
Kenny Allen had the boomer of a punt last time, 61 yards. Nyquan Murray, in case you were curious, is back to try to field this punt again. And Murray from the 18 stumbles, and then is dropped at the 24-yard line. There is a flag down back at the 20-yard line. So we'll check the marker. If it stands, it's a 54-yard punt. So Kenny Allen putting on a show himself.
Illegal formation, number 9 of the kicking team, was originally covered by a wideout, became uncovered. A 5-yard penalty be tacked on from the end of the kick. First down.
Take a look at tonight's AT&T Inside Access. Asked after their loss to North Carolina, Jimbo Fisher said, hey, I need to sign this. I need to sign this promise note. I promise to give Florida State football my all. No more loafs, no lack of effort. I will trust the process. Goes on to say, and I find this last line the best, I will allow myself to be corrected and coached.
Yeah, we've had an opportunity to go inside the locker room with Jimbo all season and see some of his words of wisdom to his team. He has been like a father figure at times. He has been hard on these guys at times. After the Louisville loss, he kind of tried to pick them up. Then after they win a great game against USF, he's really hard on them. I just think Jimbo Fisher has really challenged the depths of his coaching prowess this season. I've been really impressed with that, and that was one example of it. I might use that with you. I'm going to need you to sign something for next year.
I'm not signing anything without having my attorney look at it first. DeAndre Francois is back in there, and that's great to see. And on first down, hand off to Cook. Dalvin Cook. He's going to take a loss on this play. Delano Hill and Taco Charlton forced him out.
You can see the speed here of Cook with Hill, number 44, does a nice job keeping outside contain. And even at the last second, you thought there was a chance that Cook was going to be able to turn the corner. You have got to really make sure you have the right angles and that you stay outside if you're going to bottle up Cook on the perimeter.
Well, I think, Todd, the thing Don Brown probably said to his secondary on the sideline is, listen, we don't have the speed of Jabril at linebacker, so the two safeties, Thomas and Hill, I need you to be flying downhill to help Josh Metellus on the perimeter.
Loss of 7. Give it right back to Cook. Bottled up. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Mo Hurst made the tackle. And speaking of Don Brown, that is interesting. Don Brown came over from Boston College, where they really had their way with Cook in the 2 meetings against Boston College's defense. Cook totaled just 147 yards. That's in 2 games. That's way below his average. So maybe Don Brown knows something no one else knows.
Well, Don Brown's one of the flat-out best coaches in all of football. He's a Broyles Award finalist, and he's going to come up with something. He will adjust, and he will be ready as this game goes on.
So here's 3rd and 17 now. And Don Brown's going to spend a timeout. And we'll take it with him. 5:16 to go, quarter number 1, the Capital One Orange Bowl. Dalvin Cook, the last 2 plays have been no gain and a loss of 7. He's no stranger to that, Todd McShay.
Yeah, we've seen that on tape. I actually went and looked it up statistically. 19% of the times are no gain or losses this year, 25% of the time last year. So it sets up this big 3rd and 17.
Cook will get the ball on 3rd and 17. Well, it won't be a loss, but it won't be nearly enough. Gain of 3. Ryan Glasgow brought him down, and a 4th down coming.
Florida State is having a hard time blocking Mo Hurst, and we can talk about the negative yardage plays, but when you have defensive linemen coming free like Mo Hurst has on the last 3 plays consecutively, it's hard to gain yards.
Dalvin Cook's first 5 touches, 85 yards. Last 4 touches, 1 yard. So maybe Michigan's figured something out. On 4th and 15, they'll punt it away with Logan Tyler. Gets it in the air from his 14. And it'll take a bounce and bounce out of bounds. Michigan, well, we're blowing people out early. I mean, big margins of victory, and things got tight late.
Yeah, they were rolling there for a while. Had some big wins. They beat Colorado team that people began to see was a better team than we thought. Penn State and Wisconsin. And then they had the Iowa game on the road, lost by 1. Last-second field goal, and then we know what happened in Ohio State. And this team came 6 inches short from going to the playoff potentially, and they have to take this to the next step. It can't be a consolation here. It has to be an opportunity, and they've got to get something going on offense.
Spate able to step up now in some more trouble. Spate back at the 30, got it away to Davion Smith. And again, the mobility of Spate buying himself some time, and very close to a first down.
I think it's less of the mobility, Steve, and more just awareness, right? He's not making anybody miss, but he's keeping his eyes downfield. There was no way that this ball should have gone to Davion Smith, but he found it.
They go quick. They give him the first down. Here's Davion Smith again. And he'll pick up about 3 on the play.
This is a big drive in this game, and it's early in the first quarter, but we've had such a frenetic pace back and forth, turnovers, long runs. We've had guys out of the game, and now this thing is going to settle down, and which team is going to start to assert itself, and now Michigan has an opportunity here in plus territory.
Karan Higdon has checked in as the single setback there. The fullback is Henry Poggi, and 2 tight ends. Florida State said they were looking forward to playing big boy football, old school football. A team that goes with 2 tight ends. And Spate could not connect with Amara Darboh. In fact, DeMarcus Walker said it's going to be like Dick Butkus against Jack Lambert. I was so impressed that a college kid knows who those 2 players are. That's respect.
Knows his history, right? And that's the kind of game that Florida State should want to play. When you have injuries, 3 safeties out, you don't want to play nickel. You don't want to play dime. You don't have enough guys back there. So The question coming in this game is, will Michigan spread them out or continue to do what they do, which would be playing right into Florida State's hands defensively?
3rd down and 7. Michigan is yet to convert one. Spate sets up the screen at Davion Smith. Nothing doing, and it is DeMarcus Walker who's taken off of the end zone, but they're going to say he was down as the whistle had blown. But on cue, DeMarcus Walker makes the big play.
Walker's talented. He's a great pass rusher, 2nd in the FBS this year in sacks. But what I love about him is the instincts. You don't see many defensive linemen that have the ball awareness and ball recognition that he has as quickly to figure out screens, also to locate the ball in the run game. You see that all year long from this guy. Really impressed with DeMarcus Walker.
The thing that impressed me, Todd, was the leadership. And we talked to him yesterday, and he was almost in tears because he knew he was playing his last game for Florida State.
Kenny Allen puts it in the air. And it'll be downed at the 6-yard line. Well, tomorrow, here on ESPN, the games we've all been waiting for. The college football playoff semifinals. First at 3 East in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, with 4th-ranked Washington taking on top-ranked Alabama. Then at 7, number 3 Ohio State, number 2 Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Both games on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app. And watch ESPN. Some keys to the other games.
Yeah, you see that we're going to get up there and call this on radio, and I look to see Jalen Hurts. Can he manage Budda Baker? That matchup in the run and pass game, I think, will be a big key, Tom.
Yeah, and Jake Browning, can he continue to throw the ball successfully down the field? 2nd in the FBS on throws beyond 25 yards, but can they protect him?
Worst starting field position in Florida State is the 8. Here's Francois, throwing deep, he's got a man wide open. It's Murray. Murray down the middle of the field now. Naquan Murray atones for his earlier mistake. It's a 92-yard touchdown. Seminoles.
How about DeAndre Francois? How many hits he has taken this season, and to continue to get back up off the mat and to continue to keep his eyes downfield and take these big shots. And Nooney Murray is an emerging star in college football.
Here's Aguayo for the extra point. That took all of 14 seconds.
We talked about Don Brown and how much he likes to just play straight man-to-man coverage. And I think they've made some adjustments because they haven't had Jabril Peppers, one of which is playing zone. Here's Devontae Thomas, and here's Jordan Lewis. Watch how Jordan Lewis plays a 2-deep zone. They're going to be outside, and they do not communicate and let Nooney Murray run right by. Jordan Lewis is not playing man coverage. That's a zone look. Miscommunication, bust in coverage leads to a huge touchdown for Florida State.
I'm impressed with the young quarterback, Francois. Redshirt freshman, how quickly he was able to diagnose that cover 2 look and get the ball up. There was no hesitation. Once he saw the safety not over where he needed to be and the cover 2 look, he put that ball up, and great touch throwing the ball down the sideline. Big-time play for Florida State.
And you've just witnessed some history. They've been playing the Orange Bowl annually since 1935. That is the longest touchdown pass in Orange Bowl history. Grease, what's that like when you got a guy wide open like that? Can that be harder sometimes?
It can be harder sometimes, but when you have somebody with the speed like Nooney Murray, you know you can throw it as far as I can. I just got to put air on it, and he can run under. That guy didn't have a real big arm, so.
92 in the air, right? Yeah, sure.
Watching him in practice, Steve, he is going to be a special player. And you always know the guys that are going to be really good because Jimbo Fisher coaches them the hardest. I mean, he was every single rep. He's talking to Naquan about something, a depth. or a route or a break, I think he thinks he's going to be one of the special ones down the road.
And you feel good for the kid. He muffs the punt. The only reason Michigan has their 3 points is because of that muffed punt. He makes up for it in a big way with the longest touchdown catch in Orange Bowl history. Good for 92. DeMarcus Walker comes up to make that tackle, that time on Chris Evans.
And you talk about the elation on one sideline, and here's the other sideline, Don Brown and talking to DeMonte Thomas. They've got to get that worked out in the secondary if they're going to play zone.
You know, we've seen in all sports, you lose a superstar, that can work 2 ways, right? You can be hurt by his absence, but it can be galvanizing also for the rest of the unit. Hey, we got to pick up. Superstar X is not going to save us tonight, but that has not happened for the Wolverines. 2nd and 11. Spate to throw. Juggled and caught. Jake Butt able to hang on. Bring it down. Still short of the mark. It'll be a 3rd down.
Well, I think part of the problem, Steve, is that so much of this defense is built around Jabril Peppers and his unique talents. And you know, why wouldn't you build a unique defense around a unique player? And that's what's really made them special this year. But now they have to, on the fly, with very little time, basically no practice time, completely adjust on the defensive side.
3rd and long here. Keep an eye on Walker 44 and Burns 99 coming off the edge.
Here they come, rushing 3, and they still get great pressure. And Spate's going to go down. They rushed just 3. It looked like they were rushing 5. Walker and Noddy got there.
So far, they're the story of the game. DeMarcus Walker is just abusing Michigan's offensive line, and he's doing it at multiple different spots. It's not like he's picking on one guy. Studies tendencies, understands what guys like to do on the offensive line, and attacks them. Great play by Walker again.
I thought it was fascinating, Ty. We were talking with Charles Kelly and said he wanted to move DeMarcus Walker down inside. A lot of guys don't like to do that, but Mario Edwards did it and found a lot of success, and DeMarcus Walker's doing the same.
We're not out of the 1st quarter, and that's the 4th punt of the game for Kenny Allen. DeMarcus Walker, he's the man on that defense. What do we think of him in his future, Todd?
I think he made a great decision to come back to Florida State this year. He's become such a more consistent player, and he's done it by working hard in the film room, in the offseason, getting stronger, and just really does a great job using his hands. He's not the fastest guy, not the biggest guy, but you see the grades, B+, A-, B for versatility. He's the lowest grade. I think he's a 4-3 defensive end, but the toughness and motor, you see it every single down. He's playing hard, he loves the game, and he's a workaholic.
And he's a big Mets fan. Told us he went to a Mets game as a kid. They were doing those where they guns shoot out the T-shirts into the crowd, and somebody handed him a T-shirt. He's been a New York Mets fan ever since. On 1st down and 10, Florida State looking to add to their lead, and that is nearly intercepted. Broken up by Channing Stribling, as Auden Tate was the intended target.
Well, give credit to Jimbo Fisher. He is not going to let up on the gas pedal. Another deep shot down the field. Auden Tate, who's been struggling with the left hand injuries, had a cast on most of the week in practice. Just had it taken off before the game. Not able to bring that ball down. Would have been an unbelievable catch.
Total yards in the game so far. Florida State 200, Michigan 22. With 28 seconds left in this 1st quarter. 1 on the play clock. They just get it off. And here's Cook trying the left side. He'll pick up a yard. Mike McCray made the stop. McCray, one of the few starters on that Michigan defense, will be back next season. They're going to lose just about everybody.
Well, there are 10 seniors on that defense and 1 junior. And that 1 junior is Jabril Peppers. And so they're going to lose quite a few out.
Gillette.
Well, it's all gone right for Florida State, at least after they kicked it off. Prior to the kickoff, Renegade gave Chief Osceola a hard time there, Grease.
You were talking, I was watching this live, and I started seeing him going backwards, and pretty sure that's not how it's supposed to go for Chief Osceola. He's still got the spear in, though.
That looked like McShay in Wyoming on his horse.
Watch it, Levy.
Start of the second quarter. Levy, Greasy, McShay. Wishing you all a very happy early New Year's. We kick off the New Year's 6 with the Capital One Orange Bowl. 17-3 Seminoles, and they have the football. An excellent field position, and there's a flag, and that's how this drive will start. This quarter will start.
False start. Offense number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
70 is Cole Menshew, the redshirt freshman, who's been pushed into a starting role at right guard.
Yeah, they're really excited about Menshew. He's a mountain of a man, 340 pounds, just a redshirt freshman from Georgia, and he's got the opportunity here at that right guard position. They played with Landon Dickerson earlier in the season, tore an ACL. They've been trying to find an answer at right guard, and they like Menshew's future.
First penalty of the game against Florida State, and so it's 3rd and 14. Michigan's just rushing 4. Francois throwing and completing, but he's short of the first down. Travis Rudolph on the receiving end. DeMonte Thomas did a nice job keeping him from the marker.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that defense is designed to do. Throw it underneath, short of the sticks, and then come up and make a play. And I think Jimbo Fisher thought for a minute about going for it in this situation. Try to put the keep the foot on the gas, but I would not blame him for going for it, even if up 17-3 in the first half.
Michigan blocked 4 punts during the regular season. That's the most in the country. Here's Logan Tyler, standing at his 37. Low snap, picks it up off the ground, nearly had it blocked. And it will take a bounce in favor of Michigan. Close call there for Florida State. Kaliki Hudson almost got there. Remember, you can stream today's game, tomorrow's college football playoff semifinals, the national championship game on January 9th, and every other bowl game live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN. We've done quite a few Michigan games this season. We got into that, the difference between a blocked punt and a deflected punt, and they're not the same statistically. We found out. How about those rushing yards for Michigan? We'll let you know when they get 1. Here's Davion Smith. He got 1 and barely. Forward progress will give him that 1. Though Derek Hoskins made the tackle.
Yeah, I think what's happening now is Florida State and Charles Keller, their defensive coordinator, they are not afraid of Michigan throwing the ball down the field. They've had 1 shot down the field to Amara Darboh. He came down out of bounds. Other than that, there's really been no attempts down the field, so they are teeing off on this offensive line. 6, 7, 8 guys at times in the box. Charles Kelly's going to make Wilton Speight beat him throwing the football.
2nd down and 9. Give is to Evans, and he just barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Derek Nottie made the stop. And speaking of Charles Kelly, honestly, how much preparation did they put in for Peppers and the Wildcat? Like, how much of their quality time did they spend working against Peppers?
I think he'll take it. He'll sacrifice all that practice time for not having to tackle him in the open field.
3rd down and 8 upcoming. Again, Michigan is yet to convert on 3rd down. That's Smith, top of your screen. And Speight to throw. Under pressure again. Gets out of there and dumps it off. Able to connect with Darboh, and it is a 1st down. Levanta Taylor had the coverage.
Great movement in the pocket again from Wilton Speight, and there's not a guard on Michigan's team. Kyle Kalis can't block DeMarcus Walker. Previous series, it was Bredesen. When they bring DeMarcus Walker inside, he is getting to the quarterback in a hurry, and that's tough pressure because he's right in front of Wilton Speight.
So is that mobility? I've said 3 times Speight showing mobility, and you correct me every time.
Instincts.
Looks mobile to me. There's Eddie McDoom, as you might be able to tell from the crowd. And after the whistle, oh yeah. Tack on 15. Trey Marshall got busted.
following the play. Personal foul for the 20 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Yeah, it was pretty clear McDoom was out of bounds. He's out of bounds, staying out of bounds, and I'm not sure what happened there with Trey Marshall. He knew better than that.
The only thing I'll say is McDoom, Marshall was getting blocked, and McDoom did go to make a move back inside after stepping out of bounds, but it was clearly the right call and a penalty. I think Marshall maybe just was questioning whether McDoom was able to get out of it.
First down and 10. Handed off to Evans. He's got plenty of speed. Doesn't get a chance to really show it off there. Tavares McFadden forced him out.
Trying to make some change-ups. Michigan is offensively. You know, Davion Smith is their starter. He gets the bulk of the carries. We'll see Ty Isaac give 6 to 7 carries as a 230-pound back, and Chris Evans is really their change-up back, who came into the bowl game with only 80 carries on the season. But for Jim Harbaugh thinks that he's a better solution against this tough Florida State front four.
Michigan's longest drive so far. Play number 6 coming up. They've earned 39 yards. Here's Evans. Has the first down. And he's out to the 22. Tripped up there by A.J. Westbrook.
It makes sense bringing in a guy like Evans because bigger backs tend to have a hard time restarting if they're forced because of penetration to redirect and go in a different direction. Now, Evans has the ability, if there is defensive penetration, to make a quick cut, jump cut, and just get going back up the field. And that play, he actually just got good blocking and used his speed to get to the outside.
Yeah, Michigan's having a hard time blocking the interior, Todd.
Throwing on first down. Here's Spate. Checks it down to Jake Butt. Butt will take some people on. Has the first down and he crashes down at the 6-yard line. Trey Marshall and Matthew Thomas, and their Butt is in some pain.
Oh, Jake Butt went down holding his right leg. Oh, you hate to see this. The Mackey Award winner, 2016, two-time All-American and a captain for Michigan, and has a bright future in the NFL.
He's been under the weather all week, and now this.
Oh, you hate to see that.
If you have a typical airline credit card, you only earn double miles when you buy stuff from that airline.
There's the thumbs up as he heads off to the locker room. The star tight end for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he's made so many of these plays in his career, and just got Trey Marshall, got him low, and at the same time, Thomas got him high, and that could have been a lot worse. I was real happy to see him get up and walk off the football field, the senior captain of Michigan.
And actually away from the camera, he was actually running up the tunnel. So that was also good to see. We always love this from Jim Harbaugh. That formation. That's Evans in motion on first and goal. And Evans going to take a loss. Westbrook again.
Great job by A.J. Westbrook. You can come out all the fancy formations you want, but ultimately you're going to have to get in a football formation. Charles Kelly had Westbrook coached up. Do not lose your leverage when 13 McDoom is in the game, because there's a high tendency of speed sweep.
First red zone trip. Resulted in a field goal earlier. And here they are at the 10 on second and goal. Spate to throw. Back of the end zone. Too far for Darboh.
That's the third or fourth ball we've seen that Wilton Spate has had an opportunity to make a play, and the ball's been off target. He's had a couple of them. Darboh had a chance for a touchdown after the punt fumble, and that's another missed opportunity.
It's also interesting, too. This is the area of the field, the red zone, that they like to use Jabril Peppers the most. We've seen early red zone struggles. Have to keep an eye on it.
How about the shoulder? Chalk any of that up to the shoulder, all the misses?
I don't think so. He's looked fine throwing the football in practice.
Here's third and goal. Spate firing, and it's dropped. Looked like Darboh had it, and couldn't hang on. Bring up a 4th and goal.
There's something going on Wilton Spain right now. His accuracy's not there. He made this play in the Ohio State game in overtime. Remember, he steps up, sees Darboh open in the back of the end zone, just throws it behind him. That's a play Michigan has to make. I don't know if it's the shoulder or if it's not having peppers or if things haven't gone his way, but he's got to find a way to fight through it.
28-yard field goal on the way for Kenny Allen. And Allen is responsible for all 6 of Michigan's points. 17-6, Florida State. A special guest on the way. Park right here near Hard Rock Stadium. Levy, Greasy, McShay, wishing you all an early Happy New Year. We kick off for New Year's 6. And Florida State's in a good way, up 17-6 with 9.5 to play here in the first half. Kenny Allen will boot it away. And it'll go out of the end zone. And the Seminoles will go back on the offense. I mean, what a start for Florida State here.
It looks like they used the month off pretty well. They've came up with some good plays on offense. They came up with some defensive plays that Michigan's not ready for, so I expect them to adjust at halftime.
Brian, you sound more like your dad every single day.
Do I sound like that? That's what I hear all the time, that I sound like that.
Joined by the Hall of Famer. How are you, sir? It's nice to see you.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
for joining us.
Thank you very much.
I love the jacket. Though.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The jacket is what makes it.
Yeah. Where's yours?
You got a gold one too. That one, you got a gold one and an orange one.
Yeah, you don't have that one either.
Got a green one? Off the hands of Dalvin Cook. DeAndre Francois a little too strong for the running back. So you ever broadcast a game with your son? I know you broadcast some of his games playing, but how about in the booth?
Yes, we did one time. Before I retired, I think 3 or 4 years ago, it was a Purdue. It couldn't have been a Purdue-Michigan game. It was a Purdue-Minnesota game, and he was the 3rd guy in the booth. And I talked less that time than I ever talked in a broadcast because of this guy.
I held the flag for Minnesota while he was all Purdue.
I'm sure. 2nd down upcoming. Bob's still very active with pro football, still the radio analyst on the Dolphins broadcast.
Yes.
And they're going to the playoffs. Cook trying to turn the corner. And he'll be knocked out just shy of the first down by DeMonte Thomas.
So you've been an Orange Bowl committee member for 35+ years. What are some of your favorite memories of the Orange Bowl?
Wow, you remember as a kid the Orange Bowl parade going down Biscayne Boulevard, and it was televised on New Year's Eve night. And you know, that parade was shown nationally, and it was not as good as the Rose Bowl parade. Nothing is, but it was pretty darn good.
I want to thank you for the tickets to the 1984 game, the national championship, Miami and Nebraska. That was one of my favorite memories. The 31-30. I was a big Hurricane fan, and I never said thank you for those tickets. So
you never. All these years.
Thank you. I didn't say thank you for a lot of stuff.
On 3rd down and 1, it's Freddie Stevenson. I think he's going to be short. So Bob, here's my recurring nightmare. Is that you and Keith Jackson are on the couch watching one of the broadcasts that Brian and I have and criticizing the two of us. Please tell me that's never happened.
Hey, I saw Keith just a couple of weeks ago. The Dolphins were in California for a week playing San Diego, and then we went and played the Rams, and I had dinner with Keith. And I hear a lot of the, when we broadcast, Keith and I did Brian's game in '97 against Washington State.
What do you think of this decision, Dad? Going for it on 4th down inside your 35.
You must be up by 17-6.
See, now that's analysis. Why can't you do that, Brian?
I learned from the best.
So anyway, we're doing the Rose Bowl game. Brian's playing. It's 97. 25 years after we go undefeated, they go undefeated, Michigan. So now we're in the Rose Bowl, and Brian has a good game. And the assistant hands Keith a file card, 5x7, and says, "Oh, Nelly, you want to know who the MVP is? I'm standing right next to his proud daddy."
That's awesome.
I said, "I can't take it anymore, Keith. You better talk from here on out."
You want to know that night we did the USC Notre Dame game?
Yeah, you blew us off for dinner.
They were sitting there having dinner,
right.
but they had the mute button on. So that's what they thought of us.
Closed captioning at least? Were you reading the words?
No. We were just talking. You know, he and I were talking. But he reminds me of that game because Keith Jackson was there when Brian and I had to hold a record. We are the only two father and son Hall of Famers in the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame.
All right, out of the timeout, they're still going for it on 4th and 1 at their own 35 with this lead.
Yeah, they're going to run right behind Roderick Johnson, the left tackle. He's their best player.
Francois going to keep it and has the first down.
I think that's a vote of supreme confidence from Jimbo Fisher and this offensive line as they come off the football. And this is a defensive front that one of the best in all of college football, and they are having their way up front.
I agree. Good analysis there.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you go for it on your own 35-yard line in the first half, you got a lot of confidence that you're going to make it.
And I think it's emblematic of Jimbo Fisher trying to establish, not just for this game, but establish an attitude for future seasons.
The future is very bright for Florida State. I'm not sure what to make of Michigan's future with everybody leaving. DeAndre Francois under pressure. Taco Charlton put a hit on him. And of course, Bob is synonymous with pro football here in South Florida. There are greasy jerseys everywhere you look. I've been dropping your name all week, getting reservations. It's very nice. Just call up table for 6, greasy.
Joe Stonecrabs.
I can get you into Joe's.
Need the credit card too, though. You know.
Yeah, well, I can't take that now.
Huge part of that perfect season. The only perfect season in NFL history, capped off with a Super Bowl victory. On 2nd down and 10. Dalvin Cook breaking away. He took a big shot, but not until he got out to the 46. DeMonte Thomas brought him down, gain of 11.
It's the speed. It's the speed through the hole of Dalvin Cook at 215 pounds for him to be able to burst through and then get past the linebackers, and he's on the safeties so fast. You see a lot of backs covering Miami Dolphin football. That's an NFL back if I've ever seen one.
I'm very impressed with him. You know, he's a local kid from Miami.
Miami Central, yeah.
On 1st down. Swing it out to Cook. Had all sorts of problems where there's a flag down. And we'll check the marker. Speaking of running backs, Jay Ajayi, getting to watch him all season.
Shift on the offense, number 15. A penalties decline. 2nd down.
Can the Dolphins make any noise in the playoffs?
Yeah, we play New England here on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we're either going to play in the playoffs Pittsburgh or Houston. So, you know, we played Pittsburgh here earlier in the year and beat them pretty good.
Yep.
But, you know, they're going to play better in the playoffs.
What do you got on Tannehill for us, his status? Want to break any news here?
No, I don't know any more than you do.
Speaking of breaking news, it's nice talking to you up here, but who's watching my kids in the stands?
Boy, you guys got look at all these new bells and whistles you guys got. This is easy. Anybody can do this. Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. It's a real pleasure.
Don't give the kids too much ice cream.
Okay.
Capital One Orange Bowl by creating the Taco Bell student section. Tonight, they're picking up the tab. Something your dad wouldn't do. They're picking up the tab for students from each school so these passionate fans can root on their teams. Maybe I overshot it with Joe Stonecrabs a little bit. Speaking of tacos, Taco Charlton, who's, by the way, his Twitter handle is @TheSupremeTaco. There you go. The outstanding senior from Pickerington, Ohio. And he's on the field now. 2nd and 14 as we come back. Francois, the quick throw. And Rudolph was covered instantly. DeMonte Thomas not falling for that.
Yeah, we give DeMonte Thomas some credit. You know, he makes the big play on that fumble punt inside the 1, and he gives up a big touchdown to Nooney Murray, which put this game at 17-6, but he hasn't stopped playing his assignment defensively. Makes a nice play.
3rd and 14.
Straight man-to-man coverage for Michigan with the pressure look. This is what Deondre Francois has really grown this year, making checks, handling protections, and getting in the right play.
Francois was hit as he throws, jump ball, and it's knocked away, and there's a flag. Lavert Hill had the coverage. And we'll check the marker.
Pass interference. Defense number 24. 15-yard penalty to the previous spot. Automatic first down.
They got the matchup they wanted. Lavert Hill, the true freshman, on Gavin, who's big and physical wide receiver, and Lavert Hill just not experienced enough to look back for the football. If he just looks back, see his head right there, he can't find the football. He's not playing the football. They're not going to give him the same rights, and that was an easy call for the official.
That's a true freshman on a true freshman playing in the Orange Bowl. Must be pretty special talents. On 1st down and 10 after the marker. Oh, high snap. Francois able to corral it. Now throwing down the sideline. And we'll check for another marker. Not coming.
That was the matchup that they wanted. Jimbo Fisher matched up his fastest and best player, Dalvin Cook, on Ben Gideon. Gideon's a great linebacker, but can't run with him. And Gideon got away with a little tug. That right arm holding back Dalvin Cook. That could have easily been called.
Ben Gideon, one of the leaders on that defense. On 2nd down and 10. Florida State's across midfield and looking for more with a 17-6 lead. Francois throwing, and he just misses his target. Jordan Lewis on the coverage at Kermit Whitfield.
I thought it was interesting talking with Jimbo Fisher about Deondre Francois. Obviously, he brought up the toughness, but he's coached this young man really hard. And in Jimbo fashion, he coaches some of his best talents his hardest, and because he wants to get the most out of them. And Deondre Francois has never avoided that hard coaching, has always listened and continued to grow throughout this season.
Don't be fooled by that 169-yard passing total. 92 of that came on one play. He's hit just 5 of 13. On 3rd down and 10, he's on the move. Francois will take off. 1st down and won't take a hit. Runs out of bounds.
Offside. Defense number 73. That penalty decline. Play results in 1st down.
This is the kind of things that Deondre Francois can continue to add to his game. He hasn't been known for this season. He only has 189 yards rushing. He's been mostly a pocket passer, but you see, Todd, the athletic ability to get out in open space.
And there's going to be more pressure on Francois moving forward because Michigan's done a great job of loading the box and with their gap integrity of shutting down Dalvin Cook since that fast start.
16 yards on the run for Francois. This time I'll give it to Cook, and he'll take one of those losses. Chase Winovich made the tackle for Michigan. Loss of 2 on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 12. Cook's going the wrong way in that department after that loss. Now needs 14 rushing yards.
Another pressure look from Michigan. Eight guys in the box.
Here they come. Pocket holds up nicely, and Francois completes the pass to Travis Rudolph, his top receiver. Jennings dribbling, forced him out, gain of 8 on the play.
That's pretty. I mean, I love watching quarterbacks that throw on time and on rhythm and don't have to have a receiver wide open to get a completion. And that time, Deondre Francois throws that ball perfectly positioned for Travis Rudolph to make the play even in tight coverage.
3rd down and 4. Good shot at Jim Harbaugh watching. 14th play of this drive.
This is where Michigan has to account for Dalvin Cook, not just in the run game, but in 3rd down passing as well.
I was going to say this is where they have to hold him to 3. On 3rd and 4. Too strong off the fingertips of Rudolph. Brings up a 4th down.
Boy, that's the first play call I didn't like from Florida State. You know, that's tough man-to-man coverage to run a quick out like that to the field. That's a long throw against tight coverage, and Michigan gets a stop.
Took a double shot there. Winovich got the best of him. Looked like Francois came up wincing a little bit. Francois's got his own shoulder issue, we were told. He's been dealing with over the course of the season. So a 38-yard field goal attempt for Ricky Aguayo. He's already hit from 42. And the Seminoles look to add to their lead. And Aguayo splits the uprights. Make it 20-6 in favor of Florida State. As we're under 5 minutes now in the first half. The 1 Orange Bowl. And Florida State certainly enjoying themselves, enjoying a 20-6 lead. We are told Jabril Peppers remains in the stadium here tonight, but he is not on the Michigan sideline. He is watching in an undisclosed location. Probably knows we'd have all 400 of our cameras pointed at him at the same time. Here's Jordan Lewis with a couple of hops. Trying to cut across the field and just taken down at the 25, and there is a flag. Flags all the way back at the 34.
Offside, number 6 of the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty we tacked on to the end of the run. First down.
Two very different approaches to the bowl games. Dalvin Cook and Florida State, they've been down here tearing up the town, having a good old time.
You know, we be all business during the day. So, you know, to come out here, relieve some of the stress and just relieve some of the tension and just enjoy ourselves, man. It's very important, man, because you got to realize, you know, we still 21, 22-year-old kids, and, you know, we still enjoying life. So, you know, things like this, you know, we just have fun.
50, 51-year-old kids, I don't think it matters. The season finale of Showtime's The Season with Florida State Football will air on Tuesday night. J.U. Chesham on the reception there from Wilton Spate. And Spate told us their fun is football. Florida State we see having a blast, but they enjoy apparently team bonding and practicing, or at least that's what they're saying publicly, Grease.
Yeah, and it's been a very different experience. They have been practicing. It has been a grind for this Michigan team, and different approach from Florida State, and it's worked in Florida State's favor early in this game, certainly.
No question. Handoff, Chris Evans. He's taken for a loss. Trey Marshall has had himself a fine first half.
You can work hard and have fun too. Okay, you don't just have to work hard all the time and then say that practice is, you know, the most fun that we can have. I tend to disagree on that front, but you know, Jim Harbaugh, you can't argue with the success that he's had in turning this program around. He's grasping for some straws right now. Went up tempo there on 2nd down and comes up with a big 3rd down, and you don't want to go 3 and out, put your defense right back on the field.
Spring camp, summer camp, Christmas camp, and that's the way Harbaugh and Michigan have been doing it down here. Giving the younger guys the great bowl experience, they say, and getting them ready for next season. Again, it's Chesham, and he has enough for the first down. Marquez White able to force him out.
Yeah, big time throw and catch here. They had to have this 3rd down to get some kind of momentum going at the end of this first half. Chesham's been reliable all season. The ball's thrown a little bit behind. If Marquez White had his head around, could have knocked that football down, but it's a first down for Michigan at the 44.
Look at the total yardage numbers, and it has been all Florida State. Right from the news that Jabril Peppers would not play. We suspect it's a left hamstring, but no official word. Here's Spate to throw, and couldn't connect with Chesham.
And again, it's pressure on the inside of that Michigan offensive line. That's been the story of the game so far for me. The inability of Michigan's interior 2 guards and center Mason Cole to handle the pressure from Jones, DeMarcus Walker, and Derek Nottie.
Checks into a run with Davion Smith, and he'll be knocked down shy of the 50-yard line. Well, this is how we came on the air tonight. Caught Jabril Peppers in the locker room, in pregame, and then on the field working through it.
And I do want to say this. There's been a lot made of Leonard Fournette not playing, Christian McCaffrey not playing. I give a lot of credit to Dalvin Cook for playing in this football game. I don't think that has anything to do with this. Jabril Peppers, and I've gotten to know him over the last 3 years, he would be in this football game if he had any opportunity to do so.
3rd and 5. Spade completes. Well short of the first down. It's Darboh. Levante Taylor came up to make the stick. Bring up a 4th down.
Great job by Levante Taylor. We also mentioned Florida State's defense missing 3 safeties in this game, and so they needed to depend on some true freshmen, and Levante Taylor is one of them, one of the highest recruits coming out of high school at the corner position. Not a big player at 5'10", 169 pounds, but they are excited about his future.
5th Michigan punt for Kenny Allen. They are wearing him out. Allen during the regular season punted 3 times or less in 6 of the games. And here's his 5th punt already. And this time, very smart, Nyquan Murray will let that bounce into the end zone. Bowl season rolls on Monday with 3 more great games here on ESPN. First at 1 Eastern, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, 15th ranked Western Michigan and number 8 Wisconsin. Then at 5, it's the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl game presented by Northwestern Mutual. 9th ranked USC taking on number 5 Penn State. And finally at 8:30, 14th ranked Auburn battles number 7 Oklahoma in the All-State Sugar Bowl. All 3 games on ESPN, also available streaming live on the ESPN app, and watch ESPN.
83 yards of total offense for Michigan in this first half to 253 for FSU, and Jim Harbaugh has got to find some answers at halftime. He'd like to just get to halftime with no more points scored.
Could not have seen this coming. Here's Cook. You could see him coming, and he's out to the 25-yard line. A pick up 5. DeMonte Thomas continues to pile up the tackling numbers tonight.
I felt like coming in, this Florida State offense was being underestimated. They played 3 other top 10 defenses, as you see, 258 yards on this defense. They played 3 top 10 defenses this season in Clemson, Boston College, and they averaged 38 points against those teams. So I think Jimbo Fisher was very confident coming in against this Michigan defense, despite the fact that they're ranked 2nd in the country.
Got a marker. We'll see who jumped. Again, Matt Austin is our referee. The crew from the SEC. SEC having a tough time so far this bowl season. Oh, by the way. And a long conversation here.
Offside, defense number 73. 5-yard penalty results in a first down. The Florida State coach has chosen not to accept the 10 seconds infraction.
Jimbo wants to keep as much time on the clock, obviously, as he can. Now he gets a first down and potentially get in field goal range to attempt a field goal.
And off to Cook. He's out to the 35. Michigan has outscored their opposition this season in the first half, 287-60. So this is unfamiliar territory for the Wolverines. Coming up at the half, stay tuned for Adnan Virk, Danny Cannell, Jonathan Vilma, and the Buick Halftime Report. All the scores, highlights, news from around college football, as well as a performance from DNCE. I need me some cake by the ocean.
You already had enough at Joe's.
Final play of the half. And it will end that way with Francois being taken down. Taco Charlton. What a half for Florida State. Leading 20-6. Todd McShay is standing by on the field. Hoping to hear from Jimbo Fisher. And we will. Todd.
Coach, get off to a fast start. What was going right for you offensively?
Well, I think we mixed things up, hit some big plays, moved the pocket a little bit, got him some time, and he was hot. And then we popped a couple good runs, kept good bounce. We got to get back to that. They're doing a good job up front, and they're good on defense. We knew they're going to have their moments. We're going to have ours. It's got to be patient and stay at the game.
Got to ask, what were your thoughts when you found out that Jabril Peppers wasn't able to play in this one?
Nothing. I mean, they ain't got time to worry about now. We're going to call the game the way we're going to call it anyway.
Gotcha. Thanks, Coach.
Score at halftime of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl is 20-6 in favor of Florida State. Stay tuned for Adnan, Danny, Jonathan, the Buick halftime report right after these messages. Welcome back to ESPN's college football presentation of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. We are one half into the New Year's Six, and a happy early New Year's. Along with Brian Greasy, I'm Steve Levy. Todd McShay will join us shortly. So look, the night started when you think about Jabril Peppers being out of the game. The half ends with Jake Butt leaving the game. So there's their best defensive players from Michigan. Full marks to Florida State, but Wolverines only down a couple touchdowns here at halftime.
Yeah, a couple of touchdowns, but the first half was dominated by Florida State. Michigan has to make adjustments in the locker room at halftime. I'm not as concerned about Don Brown and those adjustments. I think they bottled up Dalvin Cook after that first drive, but it's the offense that's really been stymied. Give credit to Florida State defensively. Michigan was averaging 41 points a game coming into this game, 6 in the first half.
And Wilton Speight, something's up. You mentioned with him, we thought Michigan could take advantage of the injuries and inexperience in that Seminoles secondary, and that was not the case in the first half, with Speight going just 10 of 19 for 60 yards passing. But Michigan will get the football to open up the second half, trailing by 14. That kick will go out of bounds.
Not the way Florida State wanted to start this second half.
Break for Michigan, down to the field, and the aforementioned Todd McShay.
And I talked to Coach Jim Harbaugh from Michigan, and he was really positive. I asked him, I said, how do you get things going offensively? And he said, we did some things, Todd. We got to pick up some twists. We need to do a better job, more consistent job with their inside twist game and pass protection. He goes, we also got to hit some open throws. He goes, but we're going to be good. We'll be good.
After the penalty marker, they will start at the 35, so some good field position to start.
Well, and those two things are tied intricately together. They have got to protect the interior of this offensive line if Wilton Speight's going to throw.
And the handoff to Karan Higdon. And that's how they open up the second half. Gain of about 3 on the play. And, I mean, you can't overstate this enough. Peppers and Butt, best offensive, best defensive players now. We're obviously looking for updates, and any information we'll get to update on both for you, we will.
Well, two of the best players in college football. And you just don't replace that kind of production. Offensively, we're seeing more from Henry Poggi. We're seeing more from Ian Bunting, Ty Wheatley, Devin Asiasi at that tight end position. They've got to step up.
Off for Higdon on the pitch. And he is slammed out of bounds for a loss of 2. Roderick Hoskins. And maybe this is a glimpse to the future. It's obviously earlier than Michigan wants, but they're going to lose those 2 guys. And they're going to lose 18 senior starters, Michigan is. They've got the next wave coming, but they were hoping not to have to see him until next season. And not the second half here. Here's 3rd and 8, the big play in this game.
Here's where we're going to see whether that interior, that offensive line, a 3rd and long situation can hold up against DeMarcus Christmas and DeMarcus Walker and company.
3rd and 8, rushing 4. He had some time that time to throw. and should have enough of the forward progress. Tyrone Wheatley with his first catch and should have enough for the first down.
And you saw the first adjustment from Jim Harbaugh. He talked about handling those twists on the inside. He kept a tight end, an extra tight end in the game, and wadded up the middle of that offensive line. It gave Wilton Speight enough time to get the football to Ty Wheatley.
Wheatley just his third catch of the season, but again, without Butt in there, other tight ends will have to pick it up. On first down and 10, is Davion Smith. Spins ahead to just shy of the 50. Derek Nottie made the tackle.
Michigan's going without a huddle. Haven't done a lot of that this season, but I don't disagree with the approach. You got to do something different. Get some momentum in the second half.
Here's Smith. You hear the cracking down on the field with our excellent ESPN audio. Matt Thomas made another tackle tonight.
Boy, Matt Thomas is having a heck of a football game. Missed all of 2015 with a shoulder injury, playing that will linebacker position. And he was very highly recruited. Sees second most tackles on the team. He can flat fly. They love to use him to guard tight ends and man-to-man coverage, but he also can track down in the run game.
Local kid from Miami. He's already made 10 tackles tonight. We're just out of halftime. Here's Speight to throw and complete to Ian Bunting, and he has the first down. So all of a sudden, a couple of third down conversions for the Wolverines.
The same play they converted to Ty Wheatley. Just gonna, so what we call a little Hank route. Just goes up there and hooks over the center and gets the first down.
One thing we might be seeing here in the second half too is that they might be relying, the Wolverines, on their size over trying to utilize speed. There are a lot of multiple tight end packages as usual, but even on that last play, only one wide receiver on the field and having a few fullback tight end types.
Two tight ends here, Todd, on first down and 10. Asiasi and Wheatley both in there now. And the give is to Smith. Up the middle.
Todd, I think one of the reasons why an offense would do that is to be able to protect the interior of that offensive line. They've struggled there, and if you bring in a couple extra tight ends and fullbacks, you can help the interior of the offensive line.
Smith replaced by Higdon. 2nd and 5 coming up on a drive that started at Michigan's own 35. 8th play of the drive. Fake the jet sweep and give it to Higdon. Loss on the play. It's DeMarcus Christmas. Makes the stop.
We've watched Derek Nottie grow up before our eyes alongside DeMarcus Christmas. Just a redshirt sophomore. Probably one of the most talented athletes up front on this defensive line for Florida State. Everybody coming back outside of DeMarcus Walker. If they can find the leadership and continue to grow, guys like Brian Burns, Josh Sweat can take over in the leadership role. This is a defensive front that can be good for years to come.
3rd and 6 after a couple of conversions. Underneath, Darboh not going to get to the yellow line for the first down.
Yeah, credit Kyle Myers, the true freshman safety, coming up and making that stop and forcing a 4th down. And I don't think Jim Harbaugh thought about this decision very long. He's going to go for it.
4th down and 3. Pivotal moment in this game, even though there's 10 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
This is where you really miss Jake Butt.
They send Smith out, top of your screen. Speight throwing, and it's caught, complete. It's Ian Bunting. Boy, you look like Jake Butt right there coming down for the first down catch.
Well, Ian Bunting had something to say to me, right? Jake Butt out of the game, 6'7", 252 pounds. And he says, look, I just need the opportunity. These are the plays that are called for Jake Butt. Give me a chance and I'll make a play for you.
And you see, the very first thing that Harbaugh said to me coming onto the field was, we've got to pick up the twist game. We've got to adjust. Offensive line did a great job of communicating there to pick up the twist in the interior, and that gave Speight time to make that throw.
Big time throw and catch, gain of 21. Here's Spate. Going to take off and go into the slide. It's their third trip to the red zone. I don't know if you call the first trip a trip to the red zone. They started at the +1, but they've only managed a couple of field goals. They need a touchdown here.
And maybe more than anything else. Yeah, Tom made a great point, picking up twists, this confidence of the offensive line, and then Bunting stepping up at this drive. More than anything else is helping out the confidence of Wilton Spate. He was at an all-time low going into halftime. He needed to get something positive going.
I thought you were going to say all-time low coming out of the Ohio State game.
Well,
said he remorseful, but it sharpened his focus, and we're seeing some of that here opening the second half. Pitch to Smith, cuts it inside. He'll take a loss. He's dropped out at the 12 by Jacob Pugh.
And guess who else there too? Matthew Thomas. I mean, if you don't get a hat on Matthew Thomas and let him run sideline to sideline, you're not going to outrun him. And that time Davion Smith brought up for a loss. It brings up a difficult 3rd and 10 here in the red. This is as hard as it gets on 3rd down and long when you get a constricted field. This is where you expect something like a slow screen, something safe.
Now we've already seen this 4-down territory. Spate doesn't feel the pressure, and he's drilled from behind by Josh Sweat.
Great coverage downfield. He had to hold it an extra minute, extra couple of seconds. You see great coverage. Missing 3 safeties, and then you isolate Josh Sweat on Ian Bunting, and yeah, Ian Bunting makes a great play in the pass game to catch that ball on 3rd down and get a 1st down, but you can't block Josh Sweat one-on-one.
So the loss after the sack means it's not 4-down territory, and Michigan will take 3. 37-yard field goal there. Follows the 9th tackle for a loss by that Florida State defense. But Michigan's not going away. They trail by 11. By a score of 20-9. Kenny Allen will kick it away. And Kermit Whitfield will just down it in the end zone. Dalvin Cook said there's no way at Evenful Arts to make this a reality. 19 murals, 18 artists from 10 countries. Do you call him Uncle Don or not? I'm just curious. No? You probably did.
I don't call him Uncle Don, but that gives me chills. That you know, he and I say Howard Schnellenberger, two of the people that were responsible for really putting football on the map in the city of Miami, and a big reason why the Orange Bowl has been so successful.
No question about it. On 1st down and 10. Florida State comes out firing, and Rudolph juggled it and couldn't hang on to it. Mentioned Stephen Ross. Is no doubt who he's rooting for in this game tonight. Let's just say Michigan's business school is named after Stephen Ross. He is the biggest donor in Michigan history, some $313 million. So we shouldn't have been surprised that Adam Gase paid a visit this week to one of these 2 schools, and it was Jim Harbaugh and Michigan. So
they've done a great job rebuilding this stadium. Beautiful place to play football.
Cook slipped down untouched, and another loss there. Bring up 3rd down.
You know, Dalvin Cook really got off to a great start in this game. A couple of big runs and went right down the field and scored that touchdown. Then he's had one long catch down the field when he beat McCray. Outside of that, you know, he's been bottled up since the middle part of the 1st quarter. They have to find a way to get him the football and get him some space as Don Brown's defense makes adjustments.
4th time Cook has had a losing yardage play. Here's 3rd and 12. Pressure right away. Francois had to get it away. Taco Charlton was in his grill. 4th down upcoming.
Well, they found a way to get it to Dalvin Cook. He was wide open one-on-one, but Taco Charlton went right around Roderick Johnson. Here's the 2 of them. Both of them potential 1st-round picks, and Taco just beats him off the football.
You remember in the first half when Francois went down and had to leave for a play, Charlton just belted him, so they've gotten together before. Do you feel a sort of sway in momentum now? Things seem to have settled down a little for Michigan.
Well, it's a game of adjustments. And halftime, which coaching staff will come up with the right adjustments?
That's a really short punt. It will take a Florida State bounce and will be down at the 30-yard line. So Michigan's offense will go to the field after a 47-yard punt. They need a touchdown, not a field goal. BC, it's the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl as 20th-ranked LSU takes on Heisman Trophy winner Lamar Jackson and 13th-ranked Louisville. Both games, 11 a.m. Eastern on ESPN and ABC. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN. Michigan needs a touchdown. They've shown they got the field goal game down. Here's Davion Smith. Hurdles a Seminole. And out of bounds.
Davion Smith goes 230 pounds, and Marquez White has to respect that. And he uses that to his advantage and goes high, gets an extra 4 or 5 yards.
13 yards on the play there. And a good start to the drive. Off the play fake. Spate the quick throw to Khalid Hill, the fullback, out of the backfield. Michigan has gotten to Florida State's 1-yard line, 6-yard line, and 10-yard line. 3 of those trips, and all resulting in 3 field goals.
Yeah, they've been pretty methodical in these first 2 drives. No shots down the field. I think they're content to protect their defense and start to establish a physical presence up front. They've taken that pass rush out of the equation by staying out of 3rd and long.
2nd and 5. Spade will hand it off to Higdon, and he's stopped right at midfield. Taken down by A.J. Westbrook, who's starting to pile up some impressive tackling stats.
And when a safety like A.J. Westbrook comes up and makes a tackle for no gain or 1 yard, the first thing that happens up in the coach's booth, they say we have to throw play action over the top down the middle. And so I wouldn't be surprised if that's dialed up here pretty soon for Michigan offensively.
Trying to keep them honest. Here's 3rd and 3. Spate the quick throw, not quick enough. Couldn't connect with Wheatley as Westbrook was on the coverage again. 4th down upcoming.
Well, that's a different position for A.J. Westbrook, too. He's normally played the deep safety. Now he's gone up and played some nickel with the injuries at safety. And he's just too fast on Ty Wheatley. If that's Jake Butt, maybe there's a different conversion there, but Wheatley not as fast.
Star of the game for Michigan is Kenny Allen. And it's a timeout. Florida State has taken a timeout. Allen's 3 for 3 on field goals. 5 punts with a 48-yard average. We'll see a 6th punt when we come back. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, then at 5, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, presented by Northwestern Mutual, USC, and Penn State. And finally, the nightcap, Auburn, Oklahoma, in the All-State Sugar Bowl. All on Monday, on my sister's birthday. Here's the star of the game from Michigan so far, Kenny Allen. Boots it away, his 6th punt of the game, and Nyquan Murray calls for a fair catch there. We've been looking for Jabril Peppers, and we have located him. He's in the booth immediately next to ours. That's your best circle of the season, by the way.
I think it's safe to say that he's trying to avoid our cameras.
You think?
Which is impossible to do.
We have a lot of cameras. Adam Schefter reported that Peppers tweaked the hamstring in practice yesterday, and just not enough time, obviously, between yesterday and today to heal
That's
up.
tough. I mean, you can't play on a bad hamstring. There's some things you can tough out. Maybe if you're an offensive lineman, you can play with a hamstring, but for a speed position like that, if your hamstring's not at least 85%, you just can't play.
1st down and 10 from deep in their own end. Taco Charlton leading the way for that Michigan defense.
And it's a tough way for him to go out. I mean, if this was going to be his last game, which it very possibly could if he decides afterward to go to the next level, just a heartbreaking way for Jabril Peppers' career at Michigan, which has been so accomplished to go out.
And he's the toughest guy on that team. I talked to multiple people on their team who said that this is not a Christian McCaffrey situation, a Leonard Fournette situation where he's deciding to stay out of the game to protect his draft stock. It wasn't that at all. He was dying to play in this game. It just didn't work out.
And a hamstring's not going to cost him millions of dollars either.
False start, 78 offense.
That's Wilson Bell,
Still second down.
the backup guard.
You know, and on the flip side, I give a ton of credit to Dalvin Cook because he's going up against one of the best defenses in college football coming in, and he has every opportunity to get hurt in this game, but he's out here. He's assumed a leadership role. Now, not to take anything away from Leonard Fournette or Christian McCaffrey, I think each one of these decisions is an individual decision, and you respect that, but I give a lot of credit to Dalvin Cook.
Todd, if it's Fournette and Cook in that order, and Fournette not playing, does this give Cook any kind of opportunity to move past him?
You know, I think if you like Cook to begin with, it gives you an opportunity to say, hey, when you're banging on the table for a player, watch the tape against Michigan, watch what he's able to do, watch the speed, and the fact that he had to play in that game. They never thought of it.
The stutter step there, and Cook has been asked about it repeatedly, as you would imagine. He said never even crossed his mind not to play in the Orange Bowl here tonight. You see Todd's top 5 running backs, and you know, we haven't seen a whole lot of first-round running backs taken in the draft, so this is a refreshing change.
Well, and there's only 4 probably that will go. One of them plays for Texas, which isn't in a bowl. The 2 others chose not to, so Cook's the only first-round running back that elected to make the decision to play in a bowl game.
But, Chris, I like what you said. Every decision is an individual decision. They're all different cases. Here's 3rd down and 10. Francois airing it out, jump ball, and nobody will bring it down. Keith Gavin was the intended target, but Stribling was there all the way.
Yeah, and Michigan has settled on their adjustments to having no Jabril Peppers, and it's playing a little bit of 2 deep with a man underneath, Stribling in perfect position there, nowhere for Deondre Francois to go. Just to finish up on Dalvin Cook, the thing that jumps out to me is the toughness. Everybody wants to talk about his speed, and that's unbelievable. But the guy, you don't get 4,000 yards in 3 years in college football if you're not tough and you don't miss games and you're there for your team. And so it's no surprise to me that he's out here tonight.
Logan Taylor back in his own end zone to punt it away. Michigan was offside there as Tyler gets it away. Called for a fair catch with 49 by Jordan Lewis. And
you know, we've talked a lot about, you know, how the loss of Jabril Peppers impacts defense and offense, but special teams for Michigan is a huge piece. He was such a big part of the punt return game, and not that Jordan Lewis can't do it, but as we know, Jabril Peppers is one of the best returners in all of college football, so it's impacted all 3 phases for Michigan.
Offside, defense number 10, penalties decline, 1st down.
Todd, what about Peppers on Sundays?
Well, it's going to be interesting because I think it's going to take a coordinator to use him in the unique role that he's been used this year. I mean, his weakness is probably that he's not elite in coverage, but he can cover. He can cover from the slot. I think he's just like a Deion Buchanan. Buchanan was coming out of Washington State, a first-round pick as an in-the-box safety, around 207 pounds at the time, and he's converted to basically a will linebacker that plays that overhang, meaning against the slot and different flexed-out tight ends. So I think that's the type of player you're going to want him near the line of scrimmage because that's where he can do his best work, and you can protect him a little bit from that deep cover.
You don't think you'd like to have him against the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott offense?
Oh, yeah, no question. Here's Spade on the move. He's in big trouble, and he's taken down. Dropped at the 38-yard line. Loss of 11 on the play. It's Jacob Pugh.
And you just can't afford to have this loss. You get to a point right here when he rolls to his right that he can get outside the pocket and throw it away. When you go back inside the pocket, there's more coming from the backside, and there's no chance for Wilton Speight. But now you bring up a 2nd and 21 situation. It's very hard to overcome.
And again, no one should be surprised when Speight goes down with a sack. Florida State led the country in sacks on the season. Michigan was number 2, by the way. 2nd and 21. Speight throw out in the flat to Darboh. He tries to turn the corner, and he'll get a few yards back. Trey Marshall forced him out.
We have not mentioned DeMarcus Walker's name here in the second half. He was an absolute terror in the first half. It's only a matter of time now in a 3rd and 14 situation that they try to move him inside over the center and guard area, where he wore out Kalis and Bredesen in the first half.
There's 99. We heard so much about Brian Burns. Don't think I mentioned his name yet tonight. Here's 3rd and 14. Rushing 4. And Speight overthrew his intended target, Amara Darboh. 4th down.
And the last 2 hits on Speight, I've seen him. He's just not walking and jogging the way he has the rest of the game and the way he normally does. The hits are starting to pile up on him like body blows in a fight. And you can just tell the timing is now not quite what it should be. He's getting the ball out a little bit earlier. You can't question his toughness. We've seen all season long. You saw in the Ohio State game. But I think just physically he's starting to wear down a little bit.
And yet another punt from Kenny Allen. Fair catch is called for with some heavy traffic. Nyquan Murray. Good concentration there to make the fair catch. And looks like Speight took a shot to the mouth.
Yeah, it's been a physical game up front for this defensive line from Florida State. Whether it's been DeMarcus Walker, Derek Nottie. In the run game, you see they've gotten penetration. They've gotten support from Trey Marshall and the safeties. But then in the passing situations, Michigan just has not had an answer for this pass rush, and not many teams have. They've gotten after quarterbacks all season long. That's why they had more sacks than any team in college football.
Both quarterbacks are feeling the heat in this game. Deondre Francois started 4 for 7. He's only completed 2 of his last 11 passes for 8 yards.
These are the kind of games where you're happy, nice up here, comfortable in the booth. Not taking any of these hits, man.
Well, this is the Dick Butkus game. Dick Butkus, Jack Lambert game the players were talking about. Real football, as they call. Now down the field, a beautiful throw. Excellent double coverage on Murray. Thomas and Lewis in the neighborhood.
What a beautiful throw. A beautiful play all the way around. Great throw. Almost an unbelievable catch by Nooney Murray. And then a great play by DeMonte Thomas to come over and break it up late.
And Florida State's offensive line's doing a nice job. Really just the scheme, the protection scheme. They're doubling up on Taco Charlton, number 33. Michigan keeps trying to move him around to create a one-on-one matchup, but they're not going to let it happen. After that first big hit, they've done a nice job of bottling up Charlton, who's one of the best pass rushers in the country.
Murray and Francois hooked up earlier for a 92-yard score, the longest touchdown pass in Orange Bowl history. Here's Francois on the run. And throwing, intercepted, picked off by Mike McCray. Did he get there? He did. Touchdown. Michigan's first touchdown of the game comes on defense.
Been smart with the football all game long. He's taken his shots. He's thrown the ball away when he needs to. But Deondre Francois makes the mistake so far of the game. His 7th interception on the season, and it's a huge one for Michigan.
In a 5-point game, looks like they're going to go for 2, Todd.
And Wilton Speight ran all the way off the field. He was celebrating. They had to go track him down and get him back. Coach Harbaugh finally got him, just sent him in. He'll be fine with the play clock, but he's fortunate.
Yeah.
In the final minute of play here in the 3rd quarter, a drastic turn of events. Speight to throw, and it's knocked away. Marquez White knocks it away from Darboh, and it remains a 5-point game.
Deondre Francois has extended plays and made plays all season. for Florida State. Here's Mike McCray. He's going to bluff like he's blitzing, and then he's going to drop out. And it's not a question of whether Deondre Francois saw him, because he clearly can see him when he's coming out here. I think he thought he could get it past him to Dalvin Cook. A critical error from Deondre Francois that puts Michigan right back in the football game.
The redshirt freshman quarterback makes the mistake. For Mike McCray, his second interception of the season. But this one is worth 6. And you see on the 14-yard return by McCray, Francois took a good shot to the head too.
And that 2-point conversion, make a note of that. That was a big play for Marquez White, as you see Jim Harbaugh trying to made the decision to go for 2 quickly. But then he's got to find his quarterback to give him a play, and it took a little bit of an extra time. And it's also worth mentioning that those 2-point plays are Jake Butt and Peppers territory, and without those 2 guys, they may have to go to their 3rd or 4th option on the 2-point conversion.
Allen kicks it away, and it will go out of the end zone. Yet another touchback for Kenny Allen. 20-15. Michigan without Peppers, without Butt, without playing well, without scoring an offensive touchdown. They're right in this thing in the final minute of the 3rd quarter.
Yep. And now you send Deondre Francois back out. It seems like this game is going to be decided by which quarterback can get past the negative and forget the last play for Francois and really the last 3 quarters for Wilton Speight, and the last quarter of the season, the last quarter for some of these seniors in their career. Who can step up and make the most plays?
This quarter can't end soon enough for the Seminoles. They've run 8 offensive play, minus 2 yards in those 8 plays in the quarter. And of course, the last play, the pick 6. Francois going to keep it. There is a penalty flag down as he dives forward close to 1st down yardage. I think Rick Leonard's going to get caught for holding.
Holding, offense number 76. 10-yard penalty for the previous spot. Still 1st down.
That is Leonard, the junior from Middletown, Maryland.
And Jimbo Fisher just wanted to get his quarterback back into the game with this safe run. And with this penalty now, he's going to have to throw the football. So much for easing him back into the game. And now if you're Michigan, Don Brown brings all kinds of pressure packages into the equation.
1st and 20. Tough spot for Francois. Comes out firing, and a strong throw to Travis Rudolph. Jordan Lewis the stop. Gets back the penalty yardage.
Jordan Lewis has had an outstanding season, but he has not had his best game tonight. He's been beat several times. Once downfield, he fell down. He's fallen down a couple times. Seems like he's had trouble with his footing, but too much given up there on a 1st down by Jordan Lewis.
And yet he told us he was the best dancer on the team. Different kind of footing. That's how the 3rd quarter, the Capital One Orange Bowl, will come to an end. What a wild night. On and off the field. Before the game and during. 4th quarter is next. Quarter number 4. You see Francois, how he started, and really nothing doing since then, including the pick 6. That has Michigan right back in the game. Francois in trouble there, and he's dropped to the 14. Mo Hurst brings him down.
Yeah, and Mo Hurst he's having as good a game as DeMarcus Walker is. He's lined up on Minshew, the left guard, and you see the quickness, but you also see the hands and the use of hands. And Francois definitely fumbled that football. It was out before he hit the ground, and lucky he recovered.
So the 4th quarter starts the way the 3rd quarter went on for Florida State's offense. Now 3rd and 22. Hand off to Cook. Has a seam and a crease and then some. Has the 1st down, has the sideline. 1 man left to beat. And he is just pushed out. Just taken out of bounds by DeMonte Thomas. Got just enough of him. 71-yard run by Dalvin Cook.
What a luxury on 2nd and 20 to be able to turn around, hand the football to Dalvin Cook and get this. Great effort by DeMonte Thomas. Did he get him out? Boy, it's close, but that official in great position. The side judge, great position to see that left foot of Dalvin Cook, and he makes the right call.
Bill LeMonnier telling us by an inch. Is it a half an inch? A quarter of an inch? A sliver?
I mean, this is what makes this kid so special, is you get him one crease, and I don't care if it's 3rd and 20.
So, Grease, on 3rd and 22, where they're thinking about, all right, let's get some reasonable field position for the punt. They're not thinking about getting the first down by handing it off to Cook.
Hey, listen, if I had him on my team, I would think he could get it any time. Just give him a crease. You know you're going to have a good situation because they're probably playing the pass. If he just gets to the 2nd level, he can make guys miss.
Cook will get a breather here. Jaquez Patrick is in the game. And Francois will use him as a decoy, and he's down inside the 5.
It's just a simple counter play. It's their favorite play. You know you're going to get him to the 2nd level because the defense is playing pass. Jordan Lewis misses a tackle, and Metellus, because he hadn't played a whole lot in substitution for Jabril Peppers, is a little bit out of position. And when you're a little bit out of position on Dalvin Cook, he makes you pay.
2nd and 1. This is the first red zone opportunity for Florida State since their opening drive. Think about that for a second. On a 2nd and 1, they should have enough.
But you think about, Michigan thought they had him backed up inside the 10. They're going to get great field position off of a punt, and just like that, Florida State's threatening to go in for a touchdown.
We're going to have to update that Dalvin Cook graphic about where he is on the rushing yards list.
But a huge opportunity here. Michigan gets a stop and force a field goal, keep this a 1-score game. This is a huge red zone possession.
And Cook is not in there right now. Patrick is. 2 tight ends for Florida State on 1st and goal. Hand off to Patrick. His first carry of the game. And he's stopped by Matthew Godin for a gain of 2.
If I'm Jimbo Fisher, I'm getting Dalvin Cook back in the game. Not necessarily just to turn around and hand it to him, but on 2nd down, maybe to use him in a pass situation. I know that they like to use him as a pass catcher down here inside the 5-yard line.
Cook was the 2nd leading receiver for the Seminoles this season. He is back in the game on 2nd and goal. Michigan creeping up to the line of scrimmage. Here's Francois into the end zone. Standing up. Touchdown, Seminoles.
Michigan came with an all-out blitz. And when you come with that blitz, you're going to be sometimes short one gap. Here's Ben Gideon. You're going to see all these guys come up. When they go this way, it's his job to get to the quarterback. He's just a step slow, and because of that, DeAndre Francois walks into the end zone.
Yeah, they almost had the perfect call for it, but Gideon just got a little sucked inside, and that erased the angle that he needed in order to make up the speed gap between he and the quarterback.
Extra point is good. 27-15. Francois says, "Gonna get DirecTV." Chris, this place is almost unrecognizable from a year ago. I went to a Dolphins game last season. Try to go to a couple every season. Unrecognizable. It's like a brand new stadium. Amazing.
I played here for a whole season with the Dolphins. You're driving up, you couldn't recognize it. It looked like a skyscraper in the middle of New York City.
How'd that season go, by the way, for the Dolphins?
You had to ask. So.
Here's Jordan Lewis, and he slips down on the turf and takes a shot as he was going down at the 15. Here's a look at tonight's Capital One pivotal performance. I've got a hunch.
Hunch? Number 4 in maroon?
That's my guess.
It's just, it's been special. It's been a real privilege to watch this young man play football for the last 3 years. And if he does decide to go to the NFL, the next level, he's going to make one franchise really happy with these kinds of runs on 3rd down and 22 to be able to break just a game breaker. And what I really appreciate about him is his growth off the field this year, stepping up as a leader. And he wanted to be in a national championship game. As you see Davion Smith break to the 2nd level, his goal was very clear. He wanted to go to the national championship game. That's what he wanted to do. They came into the year ranked 4th in the country, and it didn't work out. And it went south pretty quick in that Louisville game and those 2 close games against Clemson and North Carolina. And he could have packed it in. He could have said, you know, I'm going to protect myself. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to make a lot of money. But he didn't. He kept fighting. He stood up for his offensive line, which was under siege for not protecting the quarterback, and he became a leader of this team.
Here's the other 4. Davion Smith, he's tripped up for a loss on the play. And we met with Cook yesterday or a couple days ago, and he's all business, too. He's buttoned up. He speaks very clearly, knows exactly what he wants to do, where he wants to be. A very impressive young man, both on and off the field.
You can tell these guys, these young men, when you meet with them, the ones that are playing for themselves and then the ones that are playing for others. And it's very clear that Dalvin Cook not only is playing for his teammates, but his family and everybody he represents, which is really cool to cover.
Off the loss, and 2nd and 12 now. Spade's throw is batted up in the air and nearly intercepted. DeMarcus Christmas reached up to knock it down.
And very clearly the momentum was all with the Florida State Seminoles as reading the eyes. It's a great job by Christmas. You know, they're coached by one of the all-time greats, Odell Haggins, and they teach when you can't get to the quarterback, especially in passing situations, read the eyes of the quarterback and get your hands up.
3rd and 12. Spade has just 112 yards passing with 10 minutes to go in the 4th. Looking for some more here, and instead he'll be sacked again. It's DeMarcus Walker.
And again, he's inside. You know, here he is right here, and he's just going to come around, and he's going to get a twist on the other side, and Mason Cole passes it off, but Kalis, look how fast he gets on the back of Kalis. His arm goes over his head and almost pulls him down like a wrestling move. I mean, it's just, that's a great combination of preparation, of strength by DeMarcus Walker. Is why he's going to be a 1st-round pick.
12th tackle for loss by Florida State. 8th punt out of Kenny Allen. And Murray's going back to the 15, and now he'll turn upfield. Naquan Murray trying the sideline on for size, and he is just pushed out by Kenny Allen. As if Allen hasn't done everything, he had to force Murray out of bounds. And there is a flag down, and we'll check on the return, see if it stands.
During the return, illegal block in the back for the 4 of the receiving team. It's 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down. Timeout.
57-yard punt. DeMarcus Walker comes up with a big sack. They kind of missed on that exchange.
Just the chicken sandwich and Gatorade, the proven sports fuel.
Florida State has lost their previous 2 bowl games. Seminoles have never lost 3 bowl games in a row. And they lead here 27-15 with under 10 to play in the 4th quarter. Steal a line from my pal Chris Berman. Let us be the first to wish you a Happy New Year. Let's get to jump on everybody tomorrow. Remember, you heard it here, folks. First, Happy New Year. Here come the Seminoles now. Dalvin Cook, the ball carrier. Brian Monet made the stop. Dalvin Cook at the next level. Is there a, you know, we love these comparisons, Todd McShay.
Yes.
Is there a guy we look at Cook and say he reminds me of?
Yeah, Chris Johnson's one guy, just because of the speed factor. And I always thought Chris Johnson was as good as I ever saw, making one cut and accelerating off that foot. And almost like he didn't lose any speed. Plus, he can catch the ball. He really models his game after Jamal Charles, which is another really good NFL comparison.
I like that comparison, Ty, just because of the receiving aspect of the game.
This should take either of those two NFL careers. On 2nd down and 8, Mike McCray will make the stop on Francois.
But I do think that Cook is more powerfully built than Jamal Charles and more durable. Jamal Charles, tremendous talent, has had trouble staying healthy. Dalvin Cook has been healthy. I mean, like I said, you don't go 3 years with 4,000 yards and not stay healthy.
The thing that all these speed guys do is they kill you because you feel like you're bottling them up. Like tonight, for example, 17 touches for 41 yards, but 3 of Cook's touches, 2 runs and 1 catch, gone for 144.
3rd down and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Francois on the run and throwing, and it is incomplete. Murray couldn't hang on with Stribling all over him.
And DeAndre Francois takes another big hit in that right shoulder, the one that he hurt against Miami. He's holding that wing down. But all that being said, this was the exact same position he was in when he threw the interception to Mike McCray. He does not make the same mistake twice. He throws it safe and away and comes away with a punt at minimum.
Logan Tyler, a yard into his end zone. He'll punt it away. Low snap, goes down and gets it. And just across midfield. And a crushing special teams tackle. Trey Marshall making his mark on the special team. There is a flag after the 38-yard punt.
They're going to look at this for a targeting on Trey Marshall. By definition, a receiver of the football on a punt is a defenseless player.
Personal foul, targeting, number 20 of the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
You know,
under further review.
We see this targeting call on all kinds of receiver catches and defenders, but we don't see it as much on these types of plays. But this certainly was a bang-bang hit.
Bill LeMonnier, our rules expert, with us. Your thoughts, Bill?
Well, you're absolutely right. He's a defenseless player until he really shows he can run with the football.
Yeah.
So he's protected, head, neck area. We could hear the crack of the helmet up here in the booth. Replay's going to confirm this call. It's going to be a targeting call.
Yeah. And that's the these are the plays, the reason why the rule is in. That is a very dangerous play. I just don't think that Trey Marshall had computed in his head that this is like a receiver.
Confirmed. Number 20 is disqualified.
No gray area here.
No.
Even Jimbo will agree when he sees it. Not sure Trey will, but Trey Marshall, the junior out of Lake City, Florida, has been ejected for targeting.
Well, this is in my opinion, one of the hardest for these defenders because they're running full speed, fighting off of a block, and they don't know when that ball's going to come down, and then the receiver crouches down. But you just have to play it safe in that environment and protect each other because the game is violent enough as it is.
Carlos Becker will step into Marshall's spot at the safety position. Here's Spate, has plenty of time, lofts one in the air, and it is caught. Amara Darboh goes up and gets it and makes the play. Working on McFadden, he brings it down.
Well, Amara Darboh has made these plays all year for Michigan. Going up against McFadden. McFadden has a chance to intercept this ball, Steve. It's right there, and Darboh just wanted it more.
Yeah, Darboh made a great play. That easily could have been intercepted. I was watching Spade from the end zone. His eyes very patient, let the play develop. Just didn't seem to have great juice on that throw to get it there. But, again, Darboh bails him out.
First down and 10. Just inside the 20. Pitch to Smith. And he's hit before getting back to the line of scrimmage. That'll go as a loss. So Derek Hoskins made the tackle. Another tackle for loss by this Florida State defense. They're 13th of the game.
And first down has killed Michigan in the second half offensively. You get a great play there and a first down, and you have a negative play, and now you're behind the sticks. There's still a lot of time left in this game. 7 minutes, only down 12 points. They have to get 7 here.
Second and 11. At the 20. Spates thinking touchdown also. And it is caught. Touchdown. Amara Darboh. And now the second official comes in and says no. It hit the turf. So the call on the field will be no touchdown. And you can see Darboh going into his break. He slipped down before diving for the ball.
I mean, this was unbelievable effort by Darboh. You're absolutely right. He was stumbling as he came out of the break of his route. And, yeah, I think that ball touched. Now, the ball can touch. By definition, the ball can touch, but it cannot help him to make that reception. And Bill Lemon, yeah, I don't know if you see it different, but I think that was a good call.
No, you're right on the money. You're right. He had it in his hands as he hit the ground. Then the ball moved because of the ground.
Right.
He did not maintain control. Excellent job by the other official to come in, call it incomplete.
If he doesn't stumble prior to that dive, I think that's 6. Instead, tough turn of events. It's 3rd and 11. Right back and caught. J.U. Chesson that time makes the grab.
There's been a lot of balls that have been wayward for Wilton Speight in this game, but this one is right on the money.
I thought that was the best throw he's had all night. He was decisive, top of the drop, saw what he wanted, and knew he could fit it in, even though it was a very, very tight window.
Gain of 15, and you saw the determination and focus. Yeah. Great camera shot right into the eyes of Wilton Speight.
Comes a time, first and goal. Yeah, there comes a time we just got to say, forget the rest of it. I'm going to go for it right now.
Spate's going for it right here, and it's knocked away. Looked like he tried to get Smith out of the backfield and couldn't find him.
He had him. He had exactly what he wanted. He's just so juiced up that the ball came out hot on him, and it was past Davion Smith before he could get his head around.
Second and goal. Here's Smith, more conventional way, and that'll go for another loss. Who else but DeMarcus Walker leading the Florida State party? The tackle for loss.
I would not run anywhere near number 44 if I were Jim Harbaugh. Learn your lesson. Take your medicine. Do not run it at 44 because you don't have a player on your team that can block him.
I'm not sure I'd run it at all anywhere, right? Seems like the passing game, they have something going with the passing game now. On 3rd and goal with the injuries in that secondary for Florida State, the inexperience maybe starting to take its toll. Khalid Hill, the fullback, out to the top of your screen. Here's 3rd and goal. Speight looking that way. Finds Hill, and he's in. Touchdown! Khalid Hill. And finally, a red zone trip that results in 6 for the Wolverines.
How often do you see a 265-pound fullback split outside the numbers and then run a wide receiver route on a little under route, catch the ball, pirouette into the end zone? I mean, this kid Khalid Hill is a specimen. He is going to make one NFL team very happy 2 years from now because he's decided to come back for his 5th year next year.
Extra point is good. It's the 13th touchdown of the season for Hill, who's made a living at a 1-yard touchdown. There it's an 8-yard touchdown reception. And with 5:22 left in the 4th, it's a 1-score game.
Enjoy your phone.
You too.
What a bowl game this has been. High drama throughout, starting with the Jabril Peppers news right before kickoff that he would not play, and Michigan has hung around and battled back. 27-22 Florida State with 5:22 to go.
Go back and take a look at this creative set from Michigan. Here's Khalid Hill out here, And as we roll this play, you're going to see Wilton Speight goes through his progression. He's got 2 tight ends on the inside. This is his first read here, his second read there, and that's his third read. Great decision and decisive throw on the outside shoulder. That's what a quarterback is supposed to do. Go through the read in the red zone and find the open receivers. And I love the decisiveness from Wilton Speight. And it's pretty evident that the first 3 quarters didn't go the way Wilton Speight wanted it. But he's clearly made a decision. You know what? I'm going to forget about that. I'm going to go play. I'm going to let it all hang out in the last quarter of this season and play for these seniors.
Let's see a little 4-minute offense in the last 5:22. Florida State. No, they come out passing the football. Wow. Travis Rudolph, the intended target. Stribling had the coverage.
Wow, and that ball was missed inside, which you never want to miss inside on a hitch route. If Stribling didn't lose his footing, he may have intercepted that pass and took it the other direction. The footing has been an issue tonight. We've mentioned that a couple times. Jordan Lewis, looks like they put a new field in here for this game, but it's been slick.
And it's cool. Temperatures now in the mid-50s here in South Florida. On 2nd down and 10. That's going to be a loss. Mike McCray and Taco Charlton come up on the stop. And it'll be a 3rd down and long.
Boy, Dalvin Cook has been your best player all night, and you take it out of his hands on 1st down. I would have given it to him every time I can.
What do you do here, though? This is a tough play call, considering how young your quarterback is, the mistake he made earlier. But you also don't want to give it back to Michigan, and Michigan really gaining momentum right now.
Are you kidding, Todd? The last time they had 3rd and 22, they gave it to Cook, and he went 80.
On the counter.
And Francois is 2 for his last 15 passing. What are you going to do on 3rd and 11? To throw. Far side. Ball up in the air. Knocked away. Excellent coverage by one of the best covered corners in the nation, Jordan Lewis.
Now, this almost looked reminiscent of his big-time play against Wisconsin. Went up with one hand and intercepted it. Now, it's been an up-and-down night for Jordan Lewis. But when his team needed him, the senior came up with a big PBU late in the 4th quarter.
Lewis goes 5'11". Gavin goes 6'3".
Taco Charlton is walking off the field a little bit ginger. Another guy who has a great future ahead of him, playing his guts out here for his team in the 4th quarter.
Logan Tyler, only 1 punt over 38 yards tonight. He struggled in that department. His average about 41 on the season. Great pressure, nearly got there. Lewis will dive forward. And that's where Michigan will start at their own 39-yard line, trailing by 5. Immediately following the game. It's SportsCenter at night with our pal Scott Van Pelt. Highlights from our game and the other 4 bowl games, as well as NBA, NHL, college hoops, NHL news, updates from UFC 207. Ronda Rousey in action tonight, and everything else. SportsCenter at night, following our game on ESPN. Also available streaming live on the ESPN app and watch ESPN.
Steve, that last series for Florida State took 50 seconds off the clock. 2 incomplete passes, and their defense right back on the field.
Michigan has 3 timeouts still to use, and that'll go for a loss, and a big loss on the draw to Davion Smith. DeMarcus Christmas came up and closed the hole.
Boy, and Derek Nottie, number 91, take a look at him one-on-one on Ben Bredesen. He's the one that stopped him initially.
15 tackles for loss so far. That'll go for a gain, but nowhere near 1st down territory. Florida State, 15th tackle for loss. That's their season high. Picked a good game to do it in.
Wilton Speight took 3 quarters, but he is in rhythm right now. You can see confident with his reads, getting the ball out quickly, knows where to go with it. I'm interested to see if he can carry them down the field right now, because he's feeling it.
Well, they got no run game, Ty. They're going to need him to.
3rd and 5. Speight steps up. Now wants to run for the 1st down. He's got that and much more. And he will skip out of bounds at the Florida State 40. 3:08 to go. Gain of 17.
Great job of stepping up. Watch Sweat and Burns off the edge. Both speed rushers. You got to know before you take the snap to step up. And Noddy just doesn't have enough gas left to get after Wilton Speight. A huge conversion.
We call that mobility?
Absolutely.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you. It took you 3.5 quarters to come around. So they overcome a 2nd and 15. Evans in the game now in the backfield. He gets the football. Stays on his feet. Good second effort by Chris Evans. He's short of the first down. Bring up a 2nd down and short, just shy of the Florida State 30.
This Florida State defense has played so well in this football game, especially up front, but you got to wonder how much gas they have left in the tank. They have been on the field quite a bit in the second half. And you only have so many guys up front you can rotate. DeMarcus Walker doesn't come off the field, and Noddy just tapped out. So how much do they have left? Can they get one more stop?
Michigan going to use one of those timeouts anytime soon? 2:05 to go. Handoff. It's Evans. Gets a great block. Sideline. Evans gets there. Touchdown. 30 yards. Michigan, their first lead of the game with 1:57 left.
That was the 70th play of offense for Michigan, and their Florida State defensive front just broke down. I think Michigan's going to go for 2 here to make this a 3-point game. And what a comeback.
And good idea to not take a timeout by the Wolverines. Less time for Florida State now to try to come from behind. Chris Evans, a true freshman, with all the speed. 30-yard go-ahead touchdown. Now they failed on the last 2-point conversion. That came after the pick 6.
Yep. They've come out in this set. This is the same set they came out in the last 2-point conversion with Davion Smith split wide. Expect them to get the football to Amara Darboh.
Speight throwing. Wow, did that look easy? It is Darboh, in fact. And just like that, 15 Michigan points in 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And for the first time all night, without Peppers, without Butt, Michigan has their first lead. A 3-point lead with 1:57 left in the 4th quarter. Seminoles football when we come back. The Capital One Orange Bowl. Why did I vote?
I didn't vote. Did you vote?
No, Ben took care of it for you. Don't you worry. Might have to get our ballot back. Things have changed dramatically. 1:57 to go. Allen will put it in the air. And Gavin will run it out. Out across the 20. Up the middle of the field. Keith Gavin. All the way down to the 33-yard line of Michigan. They're already in field goal range.
Wow. Is there such thing as a rope-a-dope kickoff return? I mean, look at it. He doesn't know what to do. He's looking to his partner. He's looking at Kerwin Whitfield. Then Kerwin Whitfield's upset that he took the ball out. And I think Michigan relaxed just a second, and it gave Gavin a crease.
There were 6 straight touchbacks, and following that, the 66-yard return.
Sometimes it just throws off the timing enough for the cover teams.
Kerwin Whitfield.
Not that we're going to do that on purpose.
Keith Gavin, the true freshman from Crawfordville, Florida. No Dalvin Cook here. On the run, they get it to him via the pass. He stumbles down. Thomas brought him down, but looked like Cook was headed in that direction anyway. Gain of 20 on the play.
Wow, this is what makes Jimbo Fisher such a good play caller. The right time, the right place for the screen to your best player. Perfectly executed. And if I'm Jim Harbaugh, I start thinking about taking my timeouts.
Michigan has all three. Florida State just two. Under 90 seconds left. Francois to throw. Back of the end zone. Nobody's home.
Wow. I'm surprised they're taking a shot to the end zone right there, because first thing you want to do, you're in good shape here. You want to be careful with the football. You don't want to take 3 points off the board. That's why I love the screen pass, but a downfield shot in the middle of the field in traffic, anything could happen.
Kicker Ricky Aguayo has been perfect inside of 39 yards this season. 11 for 11. So like you said, it should be good there. But they're not thinking 3, they're thinking 6. Francois is wrestled down by Drake Harris. Rather, Josh Metellus, I beg your pardon.
This Michigan defense has been one of the most impressive red zone defenses in college football all season. They are supremely confident that they can keep this team out of the end zone and force a field goal attempt.
This is like a game of poker with the timeouts, though. This is interesting. 3rd down and 9. And Florida State blinks first. They spend the timeout. What a ball game! What a ball game!
Oh gosh, what a great way to finish at least our season and to kick off the New Year's 6 Bowls. Got off to a crazy start, and it's coming down to a crazy finish, that's for sure.
You know, you always hear the broadcast saying, I've just been told, and in our open, that actually happened. I was literally told, as you were speaking, that Jabril Peppers would not play in the game tonight. So he's obviously one of the headline acts all week. We're told best against best, Cook against Peppers, and Jake Butt goes down as well. And here's Michigan with a 3-point lead, with Florida State in excellent position to certainly tie the game, but they want to win it right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think 3rd down and 8 here. I think Jimbo Fisher made a statement early in this game when he went for it on 4th down in his own side of the territory that he was going to let it all hang out. And so I expect him to give his quarterback an opportunity to get this 1st down and go win this game right here, right now, and send a message to his team for next year, because this is a team that's got a lot of talent, and coming back, certainly they can challenge for the ACC and more next year.
Of course, Michigan has a ton of talent coming back, just names we don't know.
Yep.
Because all their experienced senior starters, 18 of them, are not coming back.
That being said, you know, Ricky Aguayo has been up and down this season. He's been pretty good, but he has missed 4 kicks, missed 2 against North Carolina, Florida. So you want to, I know for me, speaking from a quarterback's perspective, I always wanted to take the game out of the kicker's hands.
This is about a 29-yard field goal from this point, 30-yard field goal. Here's 3rd and 9. Florida State 2 for 11 on 3rd down conversions tonight. 42 ticks left in regulation time. Francois to throw to the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown. Naquan Murray. Not going to settle for the field goal to tie. Seminoles are going for the win.
Naquan Murray has been a rising star for the Florida State Seminoles and in college football. He is quick off the line of scrimmage. They got the matchup that they wanted. Naquan Murray against Jordan Lewis, and Jordan Lewis underestimated the speed of young Nudie Murray. He beat him to the football.
2nd touchdown catch of the game for Murray. The first one went 92 yards. That's good for 12. Here's the extra point. It is blocked. Extra point is blocked, and it's going all the way. In a 3-point game, this will be worth 2. It's Metellus.
Wow.
How about that? What else can happen?
Wow. And 36 seconds, and Michigan has all 3 timeouts left in this game. So this game is not over. Let's go back to the touchdown first. Let's start there with a great throw and catch from Francois to Nooney Murray. There he is. If you're Michigan, you feel good. That's your best defender. Jordan Lewis just gets his head around late. The ball is perfectly thrown, and Murray makes him pay.
Well, Michigan knew that Murray was the guy to cover. They wouldn't have put Lewis in the slot. But I also thought it was interesting after the block on the return, Lewis had the key block to spring him for the two-point play.
There's Wormley again. Wormley's had blocks in his career. He's one of the best in college football at doing it. As you said, Metellus picks it up, and a great block on Saunders, the tight end, by Jordan Lewis. And 36 seconds is a lot of time with 3 timeouts, Steve.
Wormley blocked 2 field goals earlier. Again, Michigan, one of the best teams at blocking kicks all season. And this has come down to a 1-point game with 36 seconds left.
How often do you see that surrender cobra by a team that just went up by 3?
That'll go out of the back of the end zone. Michigan, again, they have 3 timeouts remaining.
Well, Kenny Allen has been one of the best players for Michigan all game, kicking the football. He's got 3 field goals and then punting the football, and they need to get to about the 35-yard line to give him an opportunity.
Florida State came into this game having connected on 299 consecutive extra points. #1 in the nation. Block and return for 2. Here's Michigan right back at you. Off the hands of Darboh. 31 seconds left. Marquez White had the coverage.
Thing you can't do if you're Wilton Speight is take a sack, and you're going to be under pressure because Josh Sweat, DeMarcus Walker, and company are going to be teeing off.
Speight, quick screen. Davion Smith.
And a quick timeout.
Nothing doing there. Kenny Allen's career long is 51 yards on the field goal. 16th tackle for loss by that Florida State defense. Tomorrow, here on ESPN, the games we've all been waiting for. The college football playoff semifinals. First at 3, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. Washington, Alabama. Then at 7, Ohio State and Clemson in the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. But right here, it's the Capital One Orange Bowl. And it's come down to this. 26 seconds left. 3rd down. They need to get to the Florida State 33 to have a crack.
What a game. What a game. Twists and turns. 2 blue bloods. You know, so many seniors on the Michigan team playing for their last time. 18 guys in the starting lineup. What a game by Dalvin Cook. Francois taking hit after hit, kept plugging.
This is how people fall in love with the sport.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it gives you chills when you do games like this, and it's not over yet.
Whether you play it or coach it or you bought a ticket or you're watching at home on TV or you're watching in the stadium on TV like Jabril Peppers. Third and 10. Speight, middle of the field, had a man wide open. Kekoa Crawford was wide open, and Speight sailed it over him.
Yeah, Kekoa Crawford, a true freshman, and the timing is just not there. Wilton Speight's having to let this ball go so early because of the pass rush. Give him credit. But Kekoa Crawford, just not enough reps to be on the same page with Wilton Speight. This is it. This is the game, 4th and 11.
in the air and intercepted. And that should seal the deal for Florida State.
And Mason Cole and Eric Magnuson are beside themselves with the referee. They thought there was an offside penalty on Florida State. It looked like the left defensive end may have jumped early. Take a look right here. Brian Burns. There's DeMarcus Walker, and I think they have a point. He got an early jump, and that's what forced the early throw from Wilton Speight and forced the interception, Steve. Wow. Tough way to lose right there.
Calvin Bruton knocked it up in the air, and Carlos Becker, the true freshman, made the interception.
What a great win for Florida State. What a great way for Dalvin Cook, if this is his last game, to go out. Special career.
And everybody was in celebration mode a little too early.
The second timeout of the half. The 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock for 12 seconds.
And please clear the field. 9 seconds left. They're going to add a couple seconds, put 12 back on the clock, but it's not going to matter now. Michigan can stop it one more time if they want to.
You know, in this last time out, I just want to ask Bill Lemonnier if he thought that was an offsides on DeMarcus Walker on that interception.
I'll admit to you it was darn close, but what you have to remember is the instant that center starts to move that ball, that man can come.
Clearly he was going on the head, and so you're saying that one could have been called either way.
I think it's a good pass, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Michigan cannot stop the clock again, and that'll do it. Celebration underway in the state of Florida for Florida State.
And what a year for Jimbo Fisher. I mean, everything that he's been through, he was proud of this team coming into the game. The ups and downs, the Louisville blowout, the close losses to North Carolina and Clemson, and to fight back and to beat an outstanding Michigan team in this fashion. Give tremendous amount of credit to Jimbo Fisher. Clearly one of the top coaches in all of college football.
Think about the way Florida State finishes. They win 7 of their last 8. Conversely, Michigan will end the season with just 1 win in their final 4 games. And I think Dalvin Cook made the right move playing in this football game. Todd McShay.
Hey, Dalvin.
Todd, take it away.
Hey, sorry, Dalvin. So many ups and downs in this game. Take us through that fourth quarter. What's going through your mind?
Man, that's what I'm telling you about this team right here, man. Whatever we face, we battle back. And that's what Coach Fisher instilled in us, man. This team kept fighting, and it showed in this game, man. We got down, but we kept fighting, man. We never out of the fight. A young guy stepped up and made the play. That you would never think, man. And I'm so proud of this team, the way we just kept back.
30-plus friends, family here to watch you. How great is this?
Greatest feeling in the world, man. To do it in this stadium with my family and with the greatest coach in the world.
You made the decision to play in this game while a lot of other running backs, first-round picks, decided not to.
Decision. Never thought about it, never questioned it.
That ain't him.
Coach,
That ain't him.
tell us about, when you say that ain't him, tell us about that.
You're playing, you're keeping score, he's going to play. Don't matter how he feels or what's going on.
Fourth quarter got wild again. Take us through your emotions of what's going on the back and forth.
Well, we lost the line of scrimmage. We give up special. We had the big punt return when it really set things up 12 at midfield. Got backed up. Then we got the targeting. Then we couldn't block them. Their front's really good. but our kids kept their poise. We had the big drive and then the 2-minute drive and the kickoff return, and we got the big drive. But kids just kept fighting situational football, and we were able to pull it out.
You told us when we met with you that you're as proud of this team as any team you've ever coached. Why is that?
Because of what you just saw today. People kept asking, what do you have to play for? This is what they got. You're keeping score, you're playing. That's what Florida State does.
We appreciate it, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So that's how this particular Capital One Orange Bowl will come to an end. What a football game. Just when you think you've figured things out, you realize we have no idea, and this is why we all fall in love with sports.
Oh, God. Thank you to Jimbo Fisher at Florida State, Jim Harbaugh at Michigan for coming out here, laying it all on the line, not holding anything back, and giving us a great game to end this football season.
Most likely, yeah, our set's going to be over there.
And congratulations to Florida State and Jimbo Fisher, now clearly one of the best coaches around.
And a sour ending for Michigan and all theirs outstanding, those 18 senior starters who will not be returning. Final score of the 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl. Florida State beats Michigan 33-32. The Seminoles, your 2016 Capital One Orange Bowl champions. Coming up, stay tuned for the Ford postgame with the awards ceremony and more. That's coming up after these messages. What a football game, and a game that Florida State led 17-3. They need to hang on to the very end to win by 1. Back with more after these messages.